And we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. It's Lakers post game, everyone. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here for the Lakers Fast Break. Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts. On this week's episode of the Pop Culture Cosmos, we go ahead and cover the disappointment known as Tron Ares, plus what happened last weekend at New York Comic Con, Peacemaker Season 2, and more. We go ahead and cover the world of pop culture like no one else. Battlefield 6 and Rolling Stone's top 250 songs of the 21st century. We got a word or two on that one. Plus, Josh Peterson continues his hike through the MCU with a look at the original Hulk movie right there for you on the Pop Culture Cosmos, wherever you get your podcasts. Also, as well, want to go ahead and make sure that you get a shout out there for Joe Sorrow, of course, at Simblades with a Y.com, the Lakerholics crew at Lakerholics.com, Daniel Barry Sports Highlights, also as well, Empire Jeff TV covering the Lakers and Dodgers, who are now 2 games up in the National League Championship Series as the series heads back to LA, and Chavez Ravine will go ahead and make sure that we'll spend some time on that later in the show. Talk about some Dodger Blue there for you. Also, as well, of course, our good friends like Legend from I Got Next Sports Media, Alfred Esmond, and more. Also, want to make sure that you check out what we're doing with my NBA team previews. I want to give a big shout out to Peter Sampson. He must have shared that. The team preview I did with him, because it's really gone quite well on that one. It's our biggest NBA team preview to date, where we talk about the Portland Trailblazers, Young Hansen, of course, all the great players on the Blazers, and more. Go ahead and talk about them. Plus, also, Kevin Samani previewed the Sacramento Kings on the latest published episode to everyone out there. And if you're a member for just $2.99 a month, you're getting my San Antonio Spurs team preview with Megan Price. Yes, she is back talking the San Antonio Spurs, and members can see it right now, right? If you're just $2.99 a month, but the rest of you can see it a little bit later, in a day or so. So be able to check that out. But covering all 29 other teams in the NBA for you right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. Plus, I've got a special interview coming up covering a brand new book on the Lakers. I cannot say the specifics on it yet. There's an embargo on it, but I do have an interview with the author lined up for you guys as well. And a YouTube, let's say someone that's kind of popular for the YouTube sports world, who's on YouTube quite a bit. He stopped by to do a preview of the Eastern Conference, and that's coming up here, hopefully before the season starts as well. In fact, I've already recorded. I just want to be able to go ahead and get everybody these NBA team previews. So getting you a lot of content is what I'm doing for you right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. Truly appreciate you joining us. And my last announcements before we get underway with the post game, because, it's a post game for a preseason game. So we'll try to make the best of it of what we can. Wanted to go ahead and make mention to you that we are going to be doing a fantasy basketball league, probably live on the air here with the Lakers Fast Break. So we'll be doing it. I'm trying to see which day that I'm going to do it, but I'm probably going to do it for the post game for the last game of the season that's coming up on the back end. So look for that. That's coming up here, probably here in a few days. So I'll go ahead and get you the specifics here in just a little bit. But also as well, if you guys have any thoughts on the NBA season predictions, complete predictions for both the Western and Eastern Conference, 1 to 15 in each conference, plus your thoughts on the MVP, Coach of the Year, Rookie of the Year, etc., go ahead and send it to me at LakersFastBreak@yahoo.com, because on Monday, this coming Monday, we're going to do our season predictions. Official. We'll release all the guys that are participating in this, because, Joe, he just, he kind of wings it, kind of does things at the last second like that. But everybody else that participate I'm going to go ahead and make sure we bring out their thoughts here. So I'm getting theirs set up as well. But if you have some NBA season predictions, send them to me at LakersFastBreak@yahoo.com. What's up, DBSH? Yo! All right. Great game today if you were at least in the first half, because Luka came into the lineup. We were a long-awaited arrival of Luka Doncic. How would he look? Along with DeAndre Ayton playing with him for the first time, Jake LaRavia playing with him for the first time, and Marcus Smart joining in the starting lineup as well. Remember, the Lakers have a back-to-back tomorrow night in Vegas. Some of the players that you'll be seeing tonight, like Luka Doncic, Marcus Smart, and maybe others, will not be playing tomorrow. So they rested some of the regular rotation guys that you've been seeing, like Jared Vanderbilt, Rui Hashimura, etc. So maybe you'll be seeing them tomorrow instead. But the Lakers today put out a starting lineup of Austin Reaves, Luka Doncic, Marcus Smart, DeAndre Ayton, and Jake LaRavia. And how did it go in the first half? Because I don't really want to talk a whole lot about the second half because it went downhill in the toilet. But first half with Luka Doncic, really set the tone with 22 points in that first half. Austin Reaves had 18. So 40 points came from those guys in the first half. They both finished with 25 points on the night. 25 points in 22 minutes for Luka Doncic. 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 turnovers. Not too great. Austin Reaves, 4 turnovers with those 25 points, but also 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Both of them were pretty solid from the three-point line. Combined 6 of 14 from the three-point line. Not too shabby there. DeAndre Ayton, 4 of 9 in 26 minutes, 10 points, 13 rebounds, 3 block shots, and 2 steals. Jake LaRavia, 8 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. Looked okay at times. Other times looked kind of rough, but he was aggressive with the ball. Christian Koloko came in, provided 6 points, 8 rebounds, and a block. Bronny James, always the source of conversation with him. 3 of 8 shooting, 7 points, but a minus 24 overall. If you are a big fan of the plus-minus, minus 24. Raphael, 5'6", what a great guy he is. He called it. He said as soon as Bronny comes in, there goes the lead. And sure enough, he played quite a few minutes in the second half. He did in the first half, gave some time as well. But in the second half, he and some of the other scrubs came in. Dalton Connect as well, 19 minutes, 5 points, minus 11 there. Christian Koloko was minus 12. Yeah, the scrubs came in playing against a Phoenix team which didn't even play most of their big rotation players, Devin Booker, Dylan Brooks, and the like. And yeah, you would think it would have been an easy time for the Lakers, but unfortunately that was not the case, as Jared Butler showed out today with 35 points, 9 assists, 7 rebounds. And Jordan Goodwin in his revenge game on the Lakers, 36 minutes, 24 points, a plus 14 on the night, as the Phoenix Suns in the second half overwhelmed the Lakers and pulled away 113-104. There you go. Yep, absolutely indeed. But great to have you guys here. Bronny, people are getting tired of you. I've received complaints about you. So we may going to have to time you out for a little while. I think people are just kind of just had enough of Bronny James for right now, as far as whoever you are in the chat. So going to have to go ahead and time you out. I know that, like I said, I've received some complaints on it. So tell you what, make a profile of who you really are in life and join the conversation then, because we really love to have you be a part of the conversation as who you are, but not as Bronny James. So yeah, really would try to avoid it. So I'm timing you out for a day or so. Not banning you, but timing you out for a day or so. So Xbox and I got you covered, my friend. I told you we kept it going. But yeah, as my mods, remember, Search is the master man as far as behind all the good stuff you do as far as the mods. If he sees it and doesn't like it, out of here. That's his call. It's your call. You guys would need to do. If my mods don't like what you're dishing out, you're not a positive in the conversation. We need to go ahead and clean it up because we want this to be a positive conversation to chat, and I really would look forward to hearing your thoughts on it. Really good questions, really good thought talk. I sent out the link to the guys, so hopefully we can go ahead and get John Costa to stop on by, although maybe he is probably still out as far as his engagement bliss because he got engaged over the weekend. So hopefully Joe or Legend or one of the guys will stop by, but you're always welcome to do so. All right, right there for you. But it is, of course, the Lakers fast break. No Joker, what's up? Great to have you back in. Johnny, great to have you back here as well. Gregory, good to have you here. Of course, Xbox Sports Baby, JY, Eli, good to have you here. I know Eli is the Phoenix Suns fan, but you know what? He's a positive, and anytime he stops by, he's a Phoenix Suns fan. So you had some positives to take away from tonight. I hope this means that for you guys, Butler and Goodwin will get time in the rotation for the Phoenix Suns. Those two have bounced around the league, especially Butler. I know that there was a lot of promise when it came to Butler when Butler first came in the league, but didn't quite fulfill it. But maybe now, if he can shoot, I wouldn't ask him to shoot 50% for you guys from three like he did tonight, but if he can come off the bench and provide some scoring for you and some decent defense, you know what? That could be really helpful to your rotation. The same thing with Goodwin as well. And hopefully it just doesn't take the Lakers for him to play like that, because if that's the case, that's something like you only play the Lakers so many times a year. But again, very positive for you guys with Butler and Goodwin tonight. Come on, Malawak. This is something I talked about in the first game where they only played him in the fourth quarter of that first game. And I'm thinking to myself, this guy's the number one draft choice for your team, and he's only getting 5-7 minutes a game. Well, he played finally 31 minutes, real minutes tonight, and scored 17 points, 8 rebounds, 2 block shots, 3 steals. Again, showing a lot of potential, and maybe if they give him more minutes and looks like this, it'll hopefully be able to boost his career and potential even more for you guys in Phoenix. So yeah, it's good, nice to see a good young big man like that, hopefully playing well for you guys going forward. No Joker says, haha, what is it with Goodwin? We know what his ceiling is. High point is 43.5% field goals. That's not going to do us anything to get us in the second round. We need more. Yes, but as long as Bronny takes up a spot on the roster, guys like Jordan Goodwin, or if you like RJ Davis, or if you like another player, it's what you're going to have to do. It's a prevention from allowing the Lakers to go ahead and maybe have a full, even a little bit better bench than they have now, but we'll see. It would have been nice to have kept Goodwin. I just think that the effort that he gives out there is something that Bronny, first off, who has been accused of lollygagging at times, especially on his transition defense, as was pointed out by Awful Coaching, if you checked out his latest video on YouTube, yes, he screams, and yes, he calls the names to Bronny, this and that. Some of it's unfair, some that's a little bit over the top, but that's his deal. But he does point out some effective things and what Bronny needs to work on in his game. And we saw a lot of that tonight. The transition defense for the Lakers has been abysmal. And that's something, if JJ does not get that right or get that better, that could be a problem for us all season long. Eli said, I just hope you guys don't get your hopes up with Aiden. Trust me. Again, Eli, I got a message earlier today. I guess on some of the Portland boards, they're monitoring Aiden and how he struggled in the first 2 games. Didn't do so bad in the last game, but in the first 2 games, they were monitoring it like a hawk and just waiting to rub it in on us Lakers fans. So I'm like, Eli and to Portland, all I'll say is this. Again, I said it to the gentleman who is Scooby. I think it was. Shout out to you, Scooby, by the way, if you're watching. I'll put it to you like this. Again, we got him on the cheap. You know what? If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It's not like the Lakers made a huge investment in him. He is a buy low, potentially high ceiling player for the Lakers. And if he's not, if it doesn't work out, fine. But today, little time he spent with Luka and with Austin was was somewhat positive. And again, in their 3 block shots, 13 rebounds. I mean, that's something we didn't have once Anthony Davis left. I mean, Jackson Hayes was not going to get us these type of numbers. So I'm not stressing it, Eli. I'm not stressing it at all because again, he was somebody that we bought, for lack of a better term, on the cheap. Although I kind of like that cheap. If that's the case, that's the kind of cheap I would like, is kind of those millions. But yeah, Mission 24. Yes, awful coaching is funny. He is. You have to get through the screaming and yelling that he does. But he does bring up very sound points. And I have a feeling he's going to make another video on Bronny for tonight's performance. Both, the pluses and mainly the minuses. Because, again, in there, he was the worst plus. Again, if you like that stat, plus minus, it didn't help Bronny because he was a minus 24 tonight. So, again, that's up to you how much stock you put into it. But as what was said, Bronny came into the game, and the course of the game changed, and we've said that more than once. And those type of things have got to change when he's in there. He's got to be more of a positive player in there when he's out there doing what he needs to do, defending at a high level. I would not have him run the offense. I don't know why JJ keeps on persisting having him run the offense in these sets. Hopefully that won't be something during the season that's going to take place. Otherwise, we're in trouble. But again, it is what it is. Alan, what's up, my friend? Long time no see. I hope all is well with you. Great to have you here. It is the Lakers fast break. Once again, the Lakers lose 113-104. They're now 1-3 on the preseason season, and we're going to go ahead tomorrow. They fly. Well, if they go from Phoenix to Vegas, it's not that long of a flight. It's a pretty short flight. So they're probably going to be in Vegas maybe before midnight here. They're playing tomorrow in Vegas. Marcus Smart and Luka Doncic they're not going to play. It's already been announced they're only going to play 2 of the next 3 games. So yes, and JJ just did confirm something I'd already mentioned to you guys. The guys who sat out tonight will be playing tomorrow in Vegas. So Jackson Hayes, Gabe Vincent, Jared Vanderbilt, Rui Hashimura will play tomorrow in Vegas. And no, I'm not going to the game. I'm not going to spend $70 on Jared Vanderbilt and Jackson Hayes, or really look hard for a comp, because it's not worth it to me. I'd rather watch it from the comfort of my own home or my own office, wherever that may be, and then be on playback with you guys, playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. What's up, Alan? Need a break from, yeah. You know what, Alan? I can't blame you. But we're getting back here in the swing of things with basketball as it gets closer to the start of the season. Guys, I know it's going to hit you like a ton of bricks when I say this, but the season starts a week from today. Yippers! A week from today. I think the guys were talking about the World Series starts then too. So could it be the Dodgers playing in the World Series on Tuesday? Could it be the Lakers? Well, it is going to be the Lakers starting their season on Tuesday. We'll see. But yeah, Search. I'm going to bring on Stone here in a little bit. I'm going to check to see. I haven't checked in with Stone in a while. I know he's been semi-active. He's been doing some things behind the scenes as far as preparing for next year's draft already, if you've checked out his Twitter. So I think I'm going to reach out to Big Stone Man here in the not too distant future. I think, did I email him and add him to the season predictions? No, I did not. Shame on me. Oh, yeah, I did. Yes, I did. Okay, yes. Again, do you guys want to be part of what we're doing with the NBA season predictions? Eastern Conference, 1-15. Western Conference, 1-15. Your MVP, your Coach of the Year. If you want to add a Rookie of the Year, that's. And then also as well, what were the NBA Finals teams, and who do you have winning it all? That's basically a little bit of right out there. But yeah, if you want to put all that on an email, go ahead and email me at LakersFastBreak@yahoo.com. We will be doing a season prediction special on Monday night as well. No Joker, thank you so much for the super chat. Truly appreciate it as always. Big shout out to Mission 24, who gave us our second ever super. He's given us our 2 super chats on playback. So I'm grateful for both of you and the money and time that you spend. Truly appreciated part of the show. No Joker says summer is almost over. Enjoying the fading lake party. Yep. Actually got in the 50s here in Vegas yesterday, so or earlier this morning, excuse me. So yeah, it's getting a little chilly outside at night, although still 75 degrees. This is the best time of year in Vegas. 75 degrees today. That was awesome. Yes, reminding me about my days in Southern California, absolutely. But Search and Destroy, Mission Goading on playback, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. He is indeed. Absolutely indeed. But yes, the Lakers tonight. Again, let's take a look at the first half. The first half, again, breaking down the first half. Luka Doncic, Austin Reaves setting the tone. Very efficient. This Luka Doncic tonight in that first half, 22 points on very efficient shooting. It's what I like to see. And he was able still to get people involved in the offense. Again, the 9 turnovers between the two, I'm not in love with. But remember, with LeBron out, they're taking an increased usage with the ball. Jake LaRavia, again, 34 minutes, 8 points, kind of up and down. He was a +6 overall, but 8 points, 8 rebounds. If you saw him with his march to the basket, it looked interesting at times. Plus, I noticed some of the people in the chat were also talking about his hands. Needed to make sure his hands were getting the ball as far as making sure he could really have a good handle of the ball, because he dropped a couple passes from time to time. It was not all that great, but 2 of 7 tonight, 1 of 3 from 3 for him. 8 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. I'd like to see a little bit more for him, especially when he's getting that amount of time. DeAndre Ayton, again, 10 points, 13 rebounds, 3 block shots, 4-9 shooting from in 26 minutes. Maybe we should get into the ball more, maybe get more touches. Maybe he could feel more comfortable in the offense, but they will have another opportunity later in the week to go ahead and work some of those things out when they play together in their next game, which will not be in Vegas, but will be the final home game of the preseason for the Lakers. And Marcus Smart, I know a lot of you guys were talking about Marcus Smart. Did look a little bit like he needed to get in shape a little bit. I'll just say that, or better shape, I should say. But he was active, and he tried hard on the defensive end, but basically was nothing much on the offense. We had 0 of 0 in 20 minutes. Basically, every time he had the ball, he easily hot potatoed it to another individual. He did not want to go ahead and didn't even look at the basket. So that, obviously during the course of the season, that might be concerning. But we'll see what happens. Again, can he get into the swing of things on both sides of the ball? We'll have to wait and see. But yes, he was a menace at times defensively. Didn't seem to have that sharp quickness that he once had right yet. But again, he's just getting back in shape. So hopefully as the season goes along, he'll get even better and better for that. Nibel says, I miss Goodwin. Yes, Goodwin. This was the revenge game for him today, as he showed up the Lakers and Rob Pelinka today with a great performance, 24 points, 6 assists for him. Also as well, 35 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists from Jared Butler. Hopefully those guys have earned a regular rotation minutes for themselves in the Phoenix Suns rotation, but we'll see what happens there. Mission 24 says, if you were to purchase a Dodgers jersey for an LFB Dodger fan, which jersey would it be? Okay, I can't decide. If I was to purchase a Dodgers jersey for an LFB Dodger fan, I would say it's Ohtani. I think Ohtani seems to translate the best, but right now Snell is your MVP of the playoffs right now. So a lot of things you have to consider there, but Snell has been almost untouchable in this playoffs at 3-0. That's an excellent question, M24, but I think it starts and stops with Ohtani. I know he's struggled the entire playoffs so far, but that's the thing. That's the beauty of what the Dodgers have done. And I said that on both playback and also on Joe's show, the Joe Sorrell experiment last night, is that the Dodgers have been able to do this without Ohtani giving you much as a pitcher or a hitter as of yet. And I really find that really cool that they're able to do it. And just hopefully Ohtani will break out when the Dodgers need it the most. But yeah, great to have you here. By the way, guys, again, want to send out my love to Drip Show at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter, at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. See that canvas art right there? That was made by Drip Show. Excellent quality, fantastic. The idea that he put it in a Genesis cartridge like that was just truly sensational and inspiring, because he knows my love for pop culture, video games, and the Lakers. So if you want something like that in your life, great canvas art, hat, t-shirt, pillow. He's done a lot of stuff for the guys, and I'll tell you what, he truly does a great job of whatever he's doing, and he could do a great job for you. Just go ahead, follow him on Instagram and Twitter at Drip Show Shop. He'll go ahead, send him a message, tell him what you want. He'll tell you the price, and he'll go ahead and make sure that he's got something really working for you. You'll love his work. Chris, the art director, he just does a tremendous job indeed. All right, what's going on here? Xbox, SPS. Yeah. Catching up with you guys, you and Mark, SB. So Nibel says our defense looks cooked. Not gonna lie, like Goodwin looks a lot better than Marcus Smart, and yes, that is correct. Remember, Nibel, great question. In order to get Marcus Smart, or the name Marcus Smart right now, because it's right now name only right now, we have to see more. But again, I don't want to go too much off of the 20 minutes that we've seen so far, because it's just getting back into the swing of things. We'll see if he can get even more in this next game. But you're right. Shake Milton was let go of his non-guaranteed contract. And then also as well, of course, Jordan Goodwin was let go as well in order to get the money to sign Marcus Smart. No, Nibel, you're not wrong at all. The Lakers on defense still have some issues. Their transition defense is abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. And this is something that was not really great last year as well. I'm hoping JJ can address it, because it's something of great concern. And we saw that more and more in the second half as the Lakers started to tire and put more subs in there. Their defense on that end became less and less effective. It was really active in the first quarter, and led by Marcus Smart, initiating quite a bit of that. Have as much the same kind of lateral movement yet that he once had, and I'm hoping he'll get that back. Plus, also as well, of course, seeing the transition defense and the hustle back by the guys, all of them was just not that good tonight. And this is something that might be a thing throughout the season. And it's been noted by several podcasts and shows I listened to about that. That's one area of weakness for the Lakers is their transition defense. They just don't get back as fast as they should. And for a team that doesn't rebound well on the offensive boards, and in the past, like last season, I'm hoping that they'll go ahead and really start taking a look at what they need to do on getting there and being more active on the offensive boards. They were a little bit more active on the offensive boards tonight, especially with DeAndre Ayton. And then also as well, having the right men at the right places when they get back on transition defense. So we'll see what happens. But giving a shout out again to Drip Show at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. Please give him a shout out right there. Nibel says, yeah, I can't make an assessment on Smart yet, but Goodwin looks great, and he was one of our best defenders last season. Yeah, you look very active tonight, Nibel. And then he scored on the offensive end. His shot was not always consistent for us, but his effort was. Nobody can ever doubt the effort of Goodwin, because he's trying to stay in the league. He's trying to stay in the league, and he's playing every bit like a guy who wants to stay in the league. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he'll do with his revenge tour on Rob Pelinka and the Lakers. Search and Destroy said, picture you gave Gerald is still. Yep, there you go. Absolutely, Search. Absolutely. It's right there. It's absolutely fantastic. I was overwhelmed when I opened that up. I just, no joke at all. I was overwhelmed when he got me that and when he made me that. I'm in true debt to Drip Show. He does an amazing job. And again, the quality, everybody in my family was amazed at the absolute quality of that work he does. And if you've seen John Costa's pillow, the art that he has behind him, when he goes on the air with me, Joe Soro, when he is out there, and you can see he has a canvas art as well. He has a hat. He has a shirt. He that he wears quite a bit on his shows and his stuff. Really just great stuff from Drip Show indeed. Absolutely. Nibel says, do you have a Western Conference ranking prediction, Gerald? I'd be interested to hear your take. Nibel, that's a great question because on the 20th, I am going to give it in detail. I have talked about on this show where I thought the Lakers would be. I've said 3rd through 6th. Now I'm thinking 3rd through 7th. And I'm really going to do some hard thinking. I haven't made up my mind yet on where the Lakers because of the fact that they do have Luka. If they have Luka and some very motivated players playing in the last year of their contract, that could mean good things for the Lakers. But the other side of the coin is LeBron is out and their defense is concerning, to say the least, Nibel. And then also as well, their bench, their sheer quality of the roster, it doesn't match up to the Clippers. It doesn't match up to Denver. It doesn't match up to OKC. It doesn't match up to Houston. Doesn't match up to Golden State. Doesn't match up to Minnesota, even with the loss of Na. That is a concern. Some people say Dallas is deeper than the Lakers right now. So a lot has to be on Luka's shoulders. And Luka has to play like a top 3 player in the league. He has to play at an MVP level. If the Lakers are in the top 3 and the Lakers win 50 games and he's going to win the MVP. It's that simple. But the question is, in a very tough Western Conference, can they get there? But Nibel, I will have that on Monday. I will be releasing we will do a live show with our season predictions. I will announce everybody's live predictions on the air. Send them to me at LakersFastBreak@yahoo.com. Again, Western 1 through 15, Eastern 1 through 15. Your finals to 2 teams that are going to make it, and your finals prediction on who's going to win, plus your MVP, your coach, and your rookie of the year. If you could send me that this week before Monday, let's say Monday afternoon. If you could send me before Monday, just before Monday afternoon, it'd be great. LakersFastBreak@yahoo.com. I'd love to read it out loud on the air and hear your thoughts on that as well. So Nibel says, so the pros are Luka has a better case for MVP carrying this team to a top 4 seed. The cons are Luka's at risk for injury, having to carry a big load. Yep, that's a great assessment. I mean, we've seen it both ways. I mean, last season, he wasn't in the greatest of shape, and it obviously matriculated into some health problems, health issues, which also matriculated into Dallas maybe second-guessing themselves on whether or not they wanted to commit to him long-term, which obviously landed Luka here. But we are hoping for the same type of season he had when he took the Mavericks to the finals. And I think that season is definitely in him. He looks in great shape, and a lot is going to be on his shoulders. A lot is going to be on his back, and he's been used to it before. So this is no strange thing to him, especially with LeBron being out. He says, I know that's a lot more on him, but we'll see what happens. Again, he has to play at an elite level constantly in every single game in order for the Lakers to go ahead and win, because it's clear the Lakers just don't have the sheer quality of talent that other teams have. The Lakers are very top-ended with Luka when LeBron's in there with him. If you want to consider Austin Reaves, who is playing at a really high level, playing for I know that was mentioned on a couple of the shows I heard. They're now talking about him getting the max if he has another season like last season or even a little bit better. And I was just like, wow, they're talking the max on him now. That's crazy. But, he's got a lot of money riding on it. So he's playing like a lot of money is riding on it. So the Lakers can go far with those 3, but how far this season, I'm still trying to figure that out. Because again, during the course of the 82 game season, Nibel, that's the problem with you need depth. You're going to get those little injuries. Luka's not going to probably play every game. What are you going to do as far as who do you have coming in there that's going to pick up the slack? And I'm just am concerned that if you're going to see a heavy dose of Bronny James and Dalton Connect right now, that is of great concern for me. Going forward, if they're part of the rotation. And I will wait and see how that works out. But again, we're going to see tomorrow in Vegas, no Luka, no Marcus Smart, but you will see tomorrow, you will see Rui Hashimura, Gabe Vincent, Jared Vanderbilt, and Jackson Hayes. And I know that does not strike fear in the other teams in the NBA around the league. Rui Hashimura, but it's the thing again with those guys. All those guys have something in common, except for Vanderbilt. I'm sorry, except for Vanderbilt. Three of those four guys have something in common: is that they're playing for new contracts. So those guys will be playing this season to the best of their ability. They will try to be available as much as they can because of the fact that a lot of money is riding on it in the offseason. And in the case of like a Jackson Hayes and a Gabe Vincent, they're very NBA lives indeed. Because if Gabe Vincent has a bad season, then can he get another job in the NBA? Jackson Hayes, same thing. Jackson Hayes has been in the league 7-8 years now. Is he still a guy that people can count on to play at an effective level as a backup on an NBA team? So we'll have to see how that correlates itself throughout the rest of the season. And if the Lakers do win, Nibel and everyone out there, if the Lakers do win 50 games and end up in the top 3 seed in the Western Conference, a lot of it's going to be based off of Luka having a memorable MVP-like season or MVP-level season. And B, it's because those players like DeAndre Ayton, like Jackson Hayes, like Gabe Vincent, like Rui Hashimura, like Austin Reaves, all those guys are going to play like their very NBA futures are on the line. And there's a lot of financial motivation. And financial motivation can do a lot to spur you through good things through the rest of the regular season. Playoffs will be different, of course. Everybody turns it up on the playoffs, but for the regular season, it might be something to think about. And that's what I'm currently thinking about, Nibel, because I don't know. When I toggle, sometimes I toggle the Lakers high as third. Sometimes in my mind, I'm toggling was fourth or fifth or seventh. Things were, since the LeBron injury, I've been all over the place. So I'm going to take a little bit more time to sleep on it, but you guys will have your answer on that on Monday night show. I guarantee you on that. Nibel's asking, do you think it's a bit worrisome that our best defender on the team gets played off the floor in playoffs due to his offensive liabilities? Yes. It's been a consistent thing, Nibel. I'm not on Vando Hill. He does look better this offseason because you've got to remember he is another year removed from his double foot surgery. He came back last season, but obviously the after effects, it takes time to get back to feeling 100%. And that's what he said at Media Day coming into this season, is that he feels a whole lot better and feels good at, as good as he has in many years. I know that a lot of people, when at Media Day for NBA say that stuff, okay, I'm in the best shape of my life, blah, blah, blah. But I think in Jared Vanderbilt's case, he means it because he does look more active. He does look quicker on the defensive end. But yes, it is of great concern that when you play in the playoffs, he's just going to be Jared Vanderbilt. He doesn't fight over screens. He has issues with that. Plus also as well, again, the offensive side of the ball is troubling. And if Marcus Smart is going to be nothing offensively for us, that again is going to bring something else as far as guys who cannot play effectively on both sides of the ball. But we're going to hopefully see a matriculation towards some more positive play from both going forward. Dwight Smith says we're going to that's the positive spirit, Dwight. Free Smoke says, what's the rules on the buyout market in March? Well, remember, after what happens with the trade deadline, those that are bought out of their contracts, again, with that, it all depends where the Lakers are under their cap. At that time, remember, should have enough because they have that open spot now. They should have enough for a prorated veterans minimum. You don't remember when they signed for veterans minimum, if somebody gets waived after the trade deadline and they sign on with a new team, it's a prorated veterans minimum, or it's a prorated minimum for whatever it is, however many games that there are left in the season. So, let's say it's 20 games, 25 games, what have you. They only get paid for those games. They won't get the full veterans minimum, which the Lakers can't afford to give out right now because they're so close to the second tax apron. But yes, it's definitely something I'm looking forward to see how that works out, because the Lakers do need help and they do need more depth on that. Nibel says, I saw the stat and Vando shot 36% from layups last season in the playoffs. Yeah, he is terrible driving to the basket last season. He's a little bit more effective against Golden State, if you remember. But there were still some issues, like around, he couldn't go around Quentin Post for a layup, but he did make a couple layups more effectively. Yeah, I'm just not on Vando Hill. I know that Empire Jeff TV, Jamie Sweet of Lakerholics, those guys are firmly on Vando Hill. They planted their flag there. Joe and I, just because of what he cannot give you on offense is still troubling. I know he's been told to take a lot of shots from three in the preseason and just to keep gunning it up there, but we see he's still not hitting them. It's just something about who he is going forward, and you have a player that can only give you certain type of minutes and do certain type of things right there for you. There you go. Looking up for it. Once again, the Lakers, they do lose 113-104. The Lakers now fall to 1-3 on the NBA preseason. It's Gerald Glassford. Thank you so much. Truly appreciate you joining me. So the pros are Luka has about, yep, that's that. Yep, absolutely. Nibel, great to have you here. By the way, hopefully you'll like and subscribe. If you like what we do, I usually have somebody with me, whether it's a Joe Soro and John Costa. Again, congratulations to him on his engagement to his lovely future bride. Sean Grice, Magic Man Sean Grice, he is alive. And hopefully he said on playback the other day that he will stop by for some of the post games as well. Also, Legend 350 from I Got Next Sports Media sometimes stops by. Alfred Esmond, great guy as well. He stops by as well. I know those guys work out there as far as for their media coverage, and now they work a lot of hours as well, but they have a stop by. We have a lot of good people that stop by the show, the Lakerholics sometimes on the weekends, and then also as well, of course, Stone Hansen, who you guys, since you brought up earlier, I'm going to try to reach out and see if he can give us some wise Stone Hansen advice before the season starts as well. Yes. Thank you from South Africa. Absolutely. That's, I believe, our first one from South Africa. So thank you, Nibel. Truly appreciate you doing so. Welcome to being a great part of our show. It is the Lakers Fast Break. I cannot thank you enough for stopping by. It is, of course, Gerald Glasser right here at the Lakers Fast Break. The Lakers once again lose 113-104. Again, waiting for Joe, hopefully, to stop on by with his words of wisdom as far as talking about the Dodgers. I don't know if he's on his own channel, but I don't think so. No, he's not. So he's probably doing something right now, Joe Soroism. But hopefully he'll be able to stop on by before we head on out to go ahead and be able to talk some Lakers and Dodgers. His Dodgers. Well, I'm a fan too. So there you go. But yeah, looking forward to going ahead and having Joe on to talk the Dodgers and also maybe the Lakers as well. But looking forward to that. But if not, Vari, if not, Mark, guys, come on. As it looks like tonight tonight it's just me and you guys right here. That's just fine by me. Guys are always a great crowd. And it looks like the Trolls have found another bridge for now, so to go under. So that's always a good thing right there for you. Xbox, we had some great rugby and cricket matches over the. Yeah, there you go. Absolutely. A few of us Aussies are here. Absolutely. God, that's what I love. The fact that I know from the Philippines, Australia, South Africa, UK, Brazil. I've had fans from all over those great countries and those great parts of the world say howdy to us. Japan as well. Always great to hear from you guys out there from wherever it is in your world. And we just cannot thank you enough. East Coast of America, which is right now at 1:00 in the morning. Truly appreciate you doing so and stopping by for us right here at the Lakers Fast Break. Cannot thank you enough for doing so. Truly appreciate it. An eclectic bunch. Yes, no joker. An eclectic bunch. We are indeed. I like it when the chat is full of positivity and there's no Adam Silvers or Bronny James that you have to placate to. That just frustrates you guys. I got several letters and emails about some of these guys, these trolls out there. They didn't say anything really bad or anything like that, or they were just asking like a ton of questions. Some of them good, some of them not so good. You guys were just like, can we just have a great conversation, and I'm really looking forward to, as always, to you guys having a great conversation. And when we do, it is really, it makes this show for me and for you guys, hopefully out there, really enjoyable. Truly appreciate it. But once again, it is Gerald Glasser bringing you right here as far as what I see and what I talk about here as far as the Lakers fast break. Tomorrow, the game is in Las Vegas. We'll see what happens with the Lakers then, as far as the Lakers coming in to believe I play the Dallas Mavericks, and Jason Kidd just got an extension, I believe a 3-year extension, if I'm not mistaken. So congratulations to him. I know it's been always a up and down roller coaster ride there in Dallas. But Austin Reaves on Luka Doncic, one-legged three that he breaks out from time to time. He said, I told him it's a blessing every now and then. So, yes, absolutely. Talking about Luka pulling out the one-leg three-point shot try out there. But yes, definitely looking forward to seeing what the Lakers will do tomorrow without Luka, without LeBron, without most likely Austin Reaves, Marcus Smart, because I don't think those guys are going to be playing back-to-back. They'll just be there waiting to hit the tables, playing some blackjack or poker right here in Las Vegas tomorrow. But looking forward to that. Hey, Stefan, great to have you here. Let's go. Absolutely, indeed. Once again, the Lakers lose 113 to 104. Stefan, great to have you here. I know that. Thank you, Stefan. I know that you mentioned in the comments the other day after you watched the show about if you would say, because you were talking about Russell Westbrook. And Russell Westbrook, I'm going to be honest with you, Stefan, because I know you weren't here back when the trade happened to the Lakers. And I was in LA at the start of that day when that happened, but I was so mad. I drove from Los Angeles, Las Vegas, going an excessive speed. I'll just leave it at that. And got here. I was motivated to come on the air to tell people how much I just didn't like the trade, because Westbrook, his style of play was not conducive to what the Lakers could do. His outside shot issues and whatnot, I just didn't think of it. And obviously, I was right. It was something where it just wasn't a good fit. Now, is he a Hall of Fame player? No doubt, Stefan. You're right. He's a great player. Over the course of his career, has had a great career. But at this stage of his career, for every positive thing he does, it's just there's some head scratching things. There's some headache inducing things. And I'm not sure these coaches, the coaches just, I don't know how much they want to deal with it. So, yes, do I think he's coming back into the league this year? I think somebody will sign him when they're able to afford it, because you got to remember, now most of these rosters are set, or they're going to be set by the weekend, because there's going to be some cuts and whatnot coming up here in the next few days. Brooklyn just recently cut some players. But yes, there's going to be some more cuts in the coming days to get down to the 14 or 15 man roster. But with Westbrook, I think he has to wait until it gets to a point in the season where they prorate enough to where some of these teams can afford it under the current salary cap, where it fits. I think it's right now a question of money. But you were talking about how you would love to see Bronny versus Russell Westbrook, and very tongue-in-cheekly, I said, I'm glad it's one of us wants to see that, because I'm not sure I would. But again, it was great to have you in the comments on that. Cannot thank you enough for stopping by, Stefan, and continue to watch our show. Hope all is well with you. Yes, great to have you here. Bloodhound, what's up, my friend? Always the under-the-radar MVP of the show right there in our chat. Bloodhound, you do a great job. You bring up some great facts each and every time. Again, he's giving a shout out to Serge, who is the inspiration of Idaho right there. Great to have you guys here. It is Gerald Glassford. Again, focusing on some concerns. Again, once the Lakers go past man number 6, man number 7, what do the Lakers do? Who do they go to that can be consistent? Because Jackson Hayes, then you get maybe into a Jared Vanderbilt, I think, is going to be the guy to start. It's not something I would choose, but I think that there's a comfort factor there for JJ. Veteran, been in the system now with the Lakers for a while, plays defense, which is something he knows he needs a little bit more of in the starting lineup. I think he's probably going to be able to start him. Plus Marcus Smart, again, just getting back into shape. I have a feeling that Jared Vanderbilt's probably going to be your replacement for LeBron. It's just a guess. Nothing I really know about yet so far. Could be Laravia, but Laravia's up and as you saw tonight, just up and down with Laravia right now. Still a young player, 23 years old, I think. So again, it's still a work in progress with him. But I think if JJ has a comfortability factor with some of the veterans, just because these coaches, they always love to put the veterans in because they're a known brand, they're a known name, a known quantity, so to speak. The player with the higher potential may not always get as much minutes as the guy that they feel comfortable with. It's like comfort food to these guys sometimes. But I have a feeling that you'll see Jared Vanderbilt. But then I wanted to get to the fact is, once you get to man 7, man 8, man 9, man 10, man 11, man 12, that's where I have the concern, guys. And you saw a little bit of that tonight because when Connect, when Bronny, when Koloko, those guys come into the game, they just lost a lot of momentum tonight, and that was kind of sad to see because the guys that they were playing against were not starters in this league. Jordan Goodwin, Jared Butler, Kaman Malawak. Malawak has the potential to become a starter in the league, but not quite yet. Rasheer Fleming was also a second-round draft choice as well. Nigel Hayes-Davis, also a kid who's trying to make a roster. And then you had Isaiah Livers, C.J. Huntley, David Duke, Kobe Bree. These guys are trying to make rosters. And today you helped their cause. It was just so disappointing to see that from those guys coming off the bench tonight, how they just could not give the kind of pushback that you needed. They didn't play with aggression. They didn't hustle back on transition defense, and it was just straight, kind of troubling to see. Tough. we thought you fell asleep when the camera went to your ceiling fan. Tough. We thought you fell asleep on the playback. So that's all. That's it. But did you guys talk about that? Well, yes, we did. Great shooting percentage. Okay, let's go ahead and see what you're talking about, Stefan. Luka and Austin. Yes, tonight, Stefan, in that first half, yes, they did. Let's talk about the positives, which was Luka and Austin tonight in that first half. 40 points combined, but it was the efficiency, especially by Luka Doncic, that was really, really a plus sign for the Lakers tonight. And a lot of people were very pleased with what they saw from Luka in that first half. I know I was. And I was really, really happy with what I saw from Luka. Again, the turnovers, 9 turnovers between the two. Wish they could cut that down a little bit because they were trying to force the ball and force the action a little bit too much at times. But again, scoring-wise, both were pretty efficient tonight, especially Luka. And 40 points in that first half really, absolutely just kind of concerning. Stefan says 37.5% for the field is a massive win. Yeah, and no, because again, he was 3 of 8 today, 0-2 from 3, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, had some decent plays at times, but again, I really want to point out to this, and this is not just the first time this has been pointed out, Stefan. I want to point out to this number right here. It's coming up in the chat, minus 24. Again, it depends on how you foresee the plus minus situation as far as how much you put stock into it. Again, if you don't put much stock to it, okay. If you do put much stock to it and you see it as a true representation of that individual and what effect they have, positive or negative, when they come into the game, by all means. Again, I will leave that up to you guys, but we've seen him more times than not on the negative end when he comes into games, whether it's or whether he's playing in summer league, whether he's playing in an exhibition game, or whether he's playing in a regular season game. It's concerning that he comes in and the team is automatically, or more times than not, I'm gonna take that back, more times than not, worse than what they left off with. And if that's the case, that's going to be an issue. And with LeBron James out, with Dad out, more players are going to get a look to try and create something on both ends of the floor for the Lakers. And whether we like it or not, Bronny is going to be one of those individuals that is going to get a look from JJ more often this season than he did last season, because now he's in the second year. You're going to be expecting a little bit more from him. I don't know if he could deliver it for you, but again, we'll wait and see. Who is he matched up against when he comes into these games? Can he be effective? Can he give you the effort, Stefan? That's what I'm really looking for to, as far as the effort, because you go to awful coaching and he does scream and rant and call Bronny names and all that stuff, but when he breaks it down, he breaks down basic things that Bronny is doing incorrectly, and that is he's right on that. You can't deny it. When he doesn't hustle back on defense, it's a problem. When he doesn't do it time and time again, that's a real problem. When he loses his man on defense or the guy drives effectively on him, it's a problem. And the fact that he's a smaller guard, you saw tonight there were instances where was it Kobe Bree, or I think it was Kobe Bree, shot like made like two jumpers just because he's taller and just could outstretch him and wasn't bothered by Bronny's defense. So that is a concern. And then Dalton Connect on the other end as well. He did have a good first half, did have a good defensive play as far as knocking the ball away, a block shot, I believe, or knocking the ball away, and a defensive play, that one of the better defensive plays I've seen from him in the exhibition season, or period for that matter. But he did make a nice 3-pointer too, but I need more than that. I need more than that from him. He needs more looks. He needs more ups, and he needs to be effective when he gets those opportunities. The experiments here: Mavericks are not winning the NBA title. Get up on the stage, man. Let's talk some Dodgers before you head on out, my friend. Come on. The Suns are sad. Well, again, this is a team that's not expected to be a good team. Probably most people put them right in between the 8 and 12 mark in the Western Conference. So, yeah, absolutely. Just kind of concerned there. Xbox, I haven't looked at my phone. I have a feeling he's probably told me he wasn't going to make it tonight. Probably still emanating from his engagement to his future bride that happened over the weekend. So, yeah, he always apologizes to me on the text when he can't make it. So I'm sure I've got one waiting there for me right now. Stefan says, I don't know how to spell Malawak, but it's wild that Bronny gets more minutes. Well, Malawak, again, that was wild too, Stefan. I agree with you, Stefan, because when they played Phoenix in the first game earlier, like a couple weeks ago, and Malawak only played and got in the game at in the fourth quarter, I was like, this is your first round draft pick. This is the exhibition season. You should be playing the hell out of him as far as getting him as many minutes on that floor in a somewhat NBA setting as much as possible. And they didn't do that until tonight. Tonight, though, Stefan, he did get 31 minutes, I think. Yeah, 31 minutes, 17 points, 8 rebounds, 2 block shots, 3 steals. The guys were saying, the kid's got a lot of potential. Yes, he was green at times, especially at the beginning of the game. You saw Luka really school him, DeAndre Ayton really school him at the beginning of the game. But over the course of the game, once he got more comfortable, he looked more and more effective. And again, I think the kid might have a future. I think he's one to keep an eye on for down the road. They do have Mark Williams, so I don't know how they're going to incorporate him or give him time, but they need to give him a lot of time in their game. They do need to give him time. Otherwise, he is not going to grow. Putting him in the G League is not, a ton of minutes. I don't know how effective that's going to be for him. He needs real NBA minutes, but I don't know if he's going to get them because, again, this is the first time he's actually played serious minutes. But here today, my good friend indeed, a happy man, not because the Lakers lost, of course, but of course because the Dodgers are flying back home to Southern California up 2-0 after a brilliant performance today, 5-1 over the Brewers. It is my good friend indeed. It is, of course, Mr. Simblades, simblades.com, Joe Soro. Joe, great to have you here as we hit the hour mark for our show. tell you anything disparaging otherwise, because watching the Dodgers today was a complete success story and great to see. But anything you can take away from the Lakers? I don't know how much of the first half you saw, because I'd take more from that than you can the dismal second half. But what did you see during the course of today's game?
I didn't see anything in the first, really. Even when I was on playback with you guys, I was preoccupied with activities and post-game Dodger commentary. I will watch it tonight when I get off air. But in listening to you guys and I guess box score watching, it looked like the Lakers had a lot of success with their regulars, and then things went haywire. I remember, I think it was 71-57 at one point, and then I went and did the
You did the
dishes.
dishes, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't handle the dishes in the sink anymore. There was a huge pot in there and some dishes, and I'm like, I can't do this. I got to clean this. So I cleaned it, and then came back, and they were down 6. I'm like, what the hell just happened? I washed the dishes for like 12 minutes. So what is the issue with that? And it's I understand there's a huge gap in talent. I understand it's a preseason game, but is there some kind of system that can maintain a 14-point lead against other preseason players at least? I'm just saying it's not good. It's not good when you can lose a lead like that so quickly because your players are not good enough. And it's not just preseason players. We're talking about, from the horse's mouth, players that were playing during that time that have a rotational opportunity. Not on my team if I was the coach. Those guys have no business being in the rotation. Those are garbage time players and players that shouldn't even be on the roster. That is because the results are what they are. It's just not something that this team is going to be able to work around. There's a lot of exploiting on those fronts. The Lakers are going to need to do their best to play likely the first 15 games without LeBron James at the most. It might be 10 games, who knows? But let's say 15 games, and they're going to have to come out and win likely 10 out of the 15 if they want to maintain enough momentum and enough of a chance to be in the top 3, top 4 at the end of the year. Might be easier this year too, considering the situations now with Fred VanVleet coming up lame in Houston, with another year that goes on with Denver, and we don't know what Jamal Murray's health is going to be like. If he continues to be unhealthy, that could be an advantage for the league or for the conference. OKC is going to be likely okay, but that's normal. Everyone's prepared for that. We don't know if San Antonio is going to make the leap yet. I'll have to see that before I assess their setup. And that's what's going on as of right now. That's what's going on right now. A lot of little triggers in talk. I thought it was funny right before the first pitch tonight for the NLCS Game 2 game. I was these journalists, quote unquote, air quotes, journalists. These commentators, these baseball people, they're sitting there telling me that Pat Murphy was in the clubhouse, and everybody was all jolly and dancing around and didn't look like they were too concerned about what happened last night. And I'm like, they weren't concerned? But when are you going to get concerned then? You had that game in your pocket in the bottom of the ninth. All you had to do is let the ball hit you or not swing at a high four-seam fastball. Okay. You're not concerned. That was the first sign that gave me, I think the Dodgers might get this. I didn't know 100%, but it was one of those feelings where later you remember that thought and you're like, yep, that was a little bit of a trigger. And turns out that we saw a masterpiece of pitching last night, and then it was equaled. It would have been equaled if Roberts had left Snell in, arguments aside. It was equaled a night later, which it's just like, man, imagine if we had back-to-back complete games. You barely get a complete game every once a year if you're lucky. Back-to-back on the road against the best team record-wise in the league. It's eerily similar to the 2001 Lakers right now. It's becoming eerily. Think about it, Gerald. Think about this. What did the Lakers do in the conference finals / NLCS, which is what the NLCS is in baseball, right? It's a conference finals, right? The equivalent in baseball. What did the Lakers do in the first two games in that series? They were on the road and they beat San Antonio. And San Antonio was the 1 seed. The Dodgers right now are 6 wins away from having their own 2001 Laker run in baseball. We will be the luckiest fan base should that happen.
Yeah.
I will consider myself the luckiest fan ever if I see that, because you don't see that kind of dominance in any sport. It's very rare. It's extremely rare how dominant those kind of years are. The Lakers had it in 01. The Bulls had it in 96. The Boston Celtics had it in 86. It's just rare. It's really rare. The Warriors had it in 2017. Who else had a really dominant? I'd say maybe the Patriots in 03, 04. They went 14-2 in both of those years. So it's very rare. And the Dodgers have 6 wins to say, not only are they going to, not only is it behind domination, but it's going to create a history that is unprecedented in a lot of ways, modernly unprecedented. There's only been 3 teams that have repeated in the National League in its entire history. The 1907-08 Chicago Cubs, the 1911-1912 New York Giants, and then it was the Cincinnati Reds in 1975-76. That's it. So if the Dodgers win the next 6 games, they'll be the 4th team. And it'll be really the 2nd team in the modern era. And even modern era was 50 years ago, the last time it happened. 49 years ago. Pretty good time to be alive when you have these around you when you're a fan of these teams. Pretty crazy what the last 25 years has produced, especially in LA with basketball and baseball.
DBSH, yo, Dodgers definitely look promising enough to repeat, Joe. I know the tough.
You're awesome.
Thank you so much. Truly.
By the way, I got so excited. I rarely get this because it's the most addicting drink on the planet, but had to get it to celebrate a little bit.
Cool Red Mountain Dew for our audio listeners.
Oh my God, so good. It is the greatest soft drink ever made, and it is by far, from the ingredients, the most toxic one to drink.
I do want to mention as well that Tuff asked you a question, Joe, and I want to ask you a question too. Did we ever figure out the yellow line deal that we were discussing last night? I know that
I forgot to go look afterwards.
Just like said, Bronny said it was like, or whoever was playing Bronny said that was based off of individual stadiums and individual. Yeah, I can't wrap my head around that they would have like universal stuff. And then also as well, Tuff was asking you tonight when you first popped in about that strange double play and why Teo feels so bad about it.
I think the line is just the line. I don't think it's anything significant. Otherwise, it would matter, right? If the ball had hit the line and bounced back, it's just hitting the wall and bouncing back. It doesn't mean, I don't think there's any meaning for it. And that whole sequence was they were still talking about it today, and I really didn't have anything else to kind of go off on that other than it really didn't mean anything in the end. It was almost like a precursor of what likely game one would have been had that happened, right? Had everybody known what happened, they would have scored 2 runs. Had they been able to identify it quick enough, it would have been 2 runs because it was a hit. The second, the fifth, because they have 6 umpires in the playoffs, right? Usually they have 4, right? So they have 6. So if everybody was paying attention to the guy, the umpire out in left field, right? As soon as he went like this, you would have had Teoscar, and if everyone was on board, Teoscar would have scored right away, and then Will Smith would have gotten to home at that point as well, and it would have been second and third with what, 1 out? Yeah. And now you're looking at a completely different game. Now the Brewers are peeing down their leg, now worried about what's a big inning that the Dodgers are going to have.
Stefan was asking. He says he thinks he wanted to know if you're famous. So he wanted to know because he just sounds so familiar. The words Joe Soros seem to roll off the tongue, and I was like, "Don't get him started."
Am I famous?
Yes.
In a small pocket, yes. I am a little bit known in the local area here, yes, but nothing too drastic.
And then, second of all, what's the taste like, Jeremy? I guess they don't have.
Yeah, I told them it's cherry Mountain Dew. I'm a cherry guy. I love cherry. I love cherry Jolly Ranchers. I love cherry snow cones. Cherry's kind of my thing. I love cherries in general. Pomegranates and cherries are really my 1 and 1A fruit. Imagine what Mountain Dew, and then it tastes a little bit like cherry. It's the perfect soda. And again, like I said, when you look at the ingredients, it is the most destructive of the soft drinks. So I don't recommend you ever drinking. I'm drinking it now for celebratory reasons, much like how I would smoke a cigar. Cigars are horrible for you as well, or drinking any kind of aggressive scotch or moonshine or vodka. All that stuff is ridiculously bad for you, but I just felt like sweetness. There was a lot of sweetness tonight, and I felt like maybe having a little bit of sip of it.
Daniel Barry Sports Highlights. Appreciate the super chat. Truly appreciate it. Shout out to Yamamoto, Muncy, and Teoscar for their clutch play tonight. Absolutely, DBSH. Just absolutely getting it done when Ohtani is not, and that's the scary part of it, Joe. Before I get to No Joker's comment right below, they've been getting it done without a significant contribution from Ohtani.
So Ohtani had a RBI single today, and his contribution the last 3 series. The first series, the wild card series, he hit 2 home runs in a single game. He was pretty effective there, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Philadelphia series, he pitched a 6th inning gem, ended up winning. Yeah, he allowed 3 hits or 3 runs, but one of those runs was a bad. One of those runs was bad fielding on the right with Teoscar, and that created the third run. And if you go back and look at the game, but he won the game. Shohei won that game. How many guys that are 50-50 hitters and repeat MVPs that are pitching 6 innings in a playoff game on the road and winning? Hey, he did that. He had the game-winning single, the game-winning RBI in game 2. In game 4, he was the reason why they were able to take that 1-run lead, because they walked him and then they ended up walking Mookie. He's had a hand in all these wins, other than probably tonight, where it wasn't something. I mean, the RBI single was part of the scoring part, but the entire series in Philly, he had a hand in the wins. The things that he did were direct lines to winning. He is struggling really bad. He's swinging at balls out of the zone. I'm sorry. Yeah, he's swinging at balls out of the zone, and he's not swinging at balls coming right down the pipe. So he's in reverse. He's just not seeing the ball. He's not seeing the ball very, very well. And it's not just Ohtani that's struggling either. Mookie didn't do much, and Freddie's been struggling. Now, a lot of the reasons why Freddie and Ohtani are struggling is because they are seeing a lot of really good lefties. Even though Peralta is a righty today, you saw Freddie get something going with him, right? And then again, you saw, well, coincidentally, the single that Ohtani did get was off a lefty, but they saw a lot of really good lefties in the Philly series, and then they've seen a few good ones here the last two games. They're not hitting well. As a matter of fact, I think there were 2 of 17 tonight, but the bottom of the lineup was 7 of 14. And something that needs to be brought up, and you need to understand this. Baseball's different, guys. Baseball is different. The star players only have one chance out of every 9 at bats. They're only going to give you 4, maybe if you're lucky, 5 plate appearances in close games. That's it. And everything is geared to stopping those guys. Now, what happens in the result of that is you kill yourself so much stopping the stars. The guys in the middle of the lineup and at the end of the lineup take advantage of it because they're so taxed. Kike's hitting, Edmonds hitting, Muncy's hitting, Teo's hitting, Pages. As soon as Pages got that double, I said, the thing with Pages is once he gets into a slump, you're begging for him to get out of that slump, because the second he gets out of it, the second he pops one, it's like an avalanche. He starts doing everything positive after that. He'll have a sacrifice bunt. He'll have another single. He'll have a walk. He starts to avalanche, and just everything's positive. That's how Paz is. And today was that day. And right now, by the way, folks, right now, Kike Hernandez is the MVP of the NLCS.
What a shock, Joe, that he's hitting during the postseason when he does. Yeah, he does nothing in the regular season, but man, postseason.
And we had we had talked about Kike and the Conforto thing. It looks like I completely went blank on this for whatever stupid reason. The Conforto thing, playing him throughout the year, it was always, if he had done well, great. If he had been this year's Teoscar Hernandez, great. Now they can use him. But if not, there was always that process of, we're going to play Kike in the playoffs anyway. So if he stinks, it doesn't matter. And that's exactly what happened. So what were we thinking? What were we worried about? So that's what that is. Now, Kike is the MVP right now. The only way that changes is if Blake Snell is the Game 5 pitcher. I think he's going to have to. There's going to be a lot of interesting decisions that Roberts is going to want to make. Should the Dodgers win Game 3? Do they send Snell out? No, it's not going to happen. They're going to save him for Game 5 just in case. So it's getting very, very obvious that if they do win Game 3 with Tyler Glasnow, Ohtani will pitch. Because then everyone will run into the normal rotation. Snell can start. Should they sweep in 4, Snell will start the World Series at a full rest. Yamamoto will start Game 2 in full rest. and then Tyler Glasnow full rest, or Ohtani, depending on what's going on in that series. So you're going to have everything running correctly in terms of rest for all those guys.
Can I throw a curveball at you?
Mm-hmm.
Pardon the pun on that.
Mm-hmm.
For Game 4, if the Dodgers are leading 3-0, could you throw Kershaw out there?
So that was the other thing. Are you going to throw Kershaw in Game 4?
If they're up 3-0, I would.
It's got to be.
If he's going to perform at any point in time, it would be then, Joe.
Yes, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Okay.
Because you don't tempt fate with that stuff. You can't risk. You cannot risk losing Game 4 and looking like an idiot. Now you have to win Game 5 or coming off a weird Game 4 because you thought maybe if I just do this little interesting thing. I think you have to go for the jugular at that point. You always have to go for the jugular when it comes to this late in the season. Put in Ohtani. Ohtani is going to pitch 5 to 6 innings of good baseball.
Okay.
If he does it, if Roberts does it, I won't argue against it, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of caution. But I just don't think he's going to do it. I don't think he's going to do it. I think Ohtani will start Game 4. Ohtani will likely close out the series because I don't see Milwaukee. If they're up 3-0, I don't see Milwaukee winning Game 4.
No Joker. Truly appreciate the super chat. Any of the super chats that have come my way tonight from Mission 24, No Joker, DBSH, and more. Truly cannot thank you enough for doing so. Big shout out also as well to our awesome mods out there, starting with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Search and Destroy, Vari, locking it down with his great coverage on playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break, and playback.tv/The Joe Soro Experiment. Gets its experiment there. Experiment on YouTube. Also want to go ahead and give a big shout out to Mark, JSJ, Kurt Affair, and everyone that's a mod on our channel. But No Joker, a great part of our channel as well. He was on Playback. He's asking for a Discord because he said, how about a Discord for some of us that work on a computer all day to connect and plot profile trolls? I'll tell you what, I've not had great experiences on Discord. I'm not loving the messy interface, but if there's more people like you, No Joker, I know I was asked one time in the past to do it. I will go ahead and start one up for you guys as far as it's concerned. So I'm not in love with Discord. I'm going to say that up front. I think it's a very messy interface, but I will do it for you guys. We will do what we can for you guys. If that's what you guys want, we'll get it to you right here at the Lakers Fast Break. Stefan says, I'm on Vando Hill. Again, I'm glad that you're on Vando Hill. And I believe right now that with LeBron out of the lineup, because the familiarity that JJ has with him, you'll see him tomorrow night here in Vegas. I will not be spending $70 for no Luka, no Austin, no Marcus Smart, no LeBron. You know, there's no way you get that. And frankly, I don't think anybody out there would blame me. But Joe, Vando does look more agile. He does look like another year removed from the double foot surgery has helped him, his agility wise, his speed wise, but I just can't get there yet. I can't get there yet. And I know he's probably going to be the one that JJ's going to tag as the starter in LeBron's place this upcoming start of the season.
Yeah, they're going to need some defense, so Vando will provide that, and he has had his stretches in the regular season where he's valuable. Fine. Run and gun, baby. Run and gun. And nothing's going to be easier for Vando to be productive on the offense than to be running and gunning and not having to think when he does get the ball on fast breaks. See, if he has to think about catching the ball or making a layup, that's where he doesn't flourish. But if maybe he's running the break, if he's running a break with Luka and getting to the basket, Luka gets in the ball. Maybe him not being able to having to think can be a more effective finisher at that point. We'll have to wait and see.
Stefan says Vando with the Wolves was epic. Vando with the Lakers, as you and I both know, Joe, started out fast, and it's been a very up and down ride ever since. And again, I would love to be back on Vandal Hill, but I'm not staking my claim there at the present time. Again, I do know he'll start the season most likely as a starter. If he does give us some really good on point defense, that'd be great. But we saw tonight with Marcus Smart, Joe, coming in. He looked like a guy that's been, guy that I said this up front, guys. 54 games in 2 years or 2 seasons. It's really hard to get that back. And today he looked like he was getting back into shape. Looked like a guy that is still needs to shed a couple pounds here or there. The effort was there on the defensive end, guys. The try is there. The want and the need, Joe, was there to try and be a disruptive force and play on the point. There's still some quickness issues. There's still some issues where he needs to get in better shape. Offensively, it was like as soon as he touched the ball, it was a hot potato. He immediately got it out of his hands because he did not want it, because he didn't even look at the basket. You and I think, would have looked at the basket more than he did today. But again, it's a work in progress. I didn't expect much in 20 minutes in his first time out, but I'm hoping for more, a little by little, and him to piece it together. But we'll wait and see when it comes to the next game he's going to play on Friday, Joe, because he's not playing tomorrow night.
Is he out of shape because his feet still hurt?
Well, that could be the Achilles tendonitis could be an issue as well. That's a good point.
I don't like the word tendonitis and Achilles. That's usually the precursor to something bad. And it doesn't help that he's got extra weight. That's only going to make it worse. I would tighten up the diet a little bit and maybe do some extra cardio work if I were Marcus Smart. It's not a good idea to have more weight than you need to get back into basketball shape. You want to be in shape first, then get into stamina basketball shape. But I don't know how bad his tendonitis is.
Marwan, thank you for subscribing. Truly appreciate it. Cannot thank you enough for being part of what we do here at the Lakers Fast Break. The Lakers, once again, they lose tonight, 113-104. But I do want to go ahead and put in the positives. I mean, we could talk about the Bronny minus 24, the Dalton minus 11, Koloko minus 12, all you want. But I want to focus in on the positives. That first half, I know you didn't get to take a good look at it, Joe, and I know you'll look back on it, be able to catch a replay of it. Luka in that first half, lighting it up. The efficiency on the offense, shot well from all over, 22 points. Him and Austin combined for 40 points in that first half. Overall, they combined for 50 points overall. I mean, you got what it was advertised when you saw Austin and Luka. Wish they would have turned down the turnovers, because 9 turnovers between them. But I have a feeling because the extra usage that's required of them with LeBron out of the lineup, you're going to get games like these where it's those two against the world, hoping that the rest of the Lakers will be able to lift up alongside of them. We'll see hopefully more of that coming up this season, I hope.
Yeah, it seems that it doesn't matter preseason or not. They're still, I don't know what they're doing at halftime, but the Lakers play like dog shit in the third quarter every game, it seems. I don't know what's said at halftime. What are they saying at halftime? What happens at halftime? Are they not getting oranges to eat at halftime? What's the problem?
Sound like Ant-Man.
Yeah, it's not just. See, this is organizational habits. Talented or not, you see the little things consistently, even if the talent isn't there or if it's there. When we talk about the 1990 LA Lakers, there's a lot of admiration. There's a lot of happiness from Laker fans between 1992 and 1996. And those who were not around at that time or were too young or weren't born yet, why did Laker fans like myself appreciate and enjoy that time, even though we knew that the Lakers didn't have a championship team? It's because the standards were still the same. And they squeezed every ounce of talent out of that team. The Nick Van Exels, the Terry Teagles, the Sedell Threets. The one that really frustrated me in terms of the regular was Eldon Campbell. Eldon Campbell had that lazy. He had a Wiggins type motor. It just, you're like, why aren't you playing harder? Why aren't you moving more? Other than that, everyone else was a lot of admiration. We really liked the players, and they came away with some really cool wins and really cool playoff appearances during that time. So what did we see at that point? We saw Laker greatness, even though you didn't have great players. You still saw the basics. You still saw them play Laker basketball in terms of you're expected to squeeze every ounce of your talent and make sure you do your best and make sure you're effective until you get the greatness coming in, which eventually they did. This right now, seeing this kind of performances, even in a simple game, like, well, why is it? It's happening in the regular season. It's happening in preseason. Where are the habits? Where is the identity? You hear me say that a lot lately. What is the identity of this team? It still doesn't have an identity. And I don't think we're going to have it until LeBron is gone anyways. But you can get a head start. Fast break, fast break, fast break, easy baskets, easy baskets. I want this team running and gunning. Because it's going to help you in two areas. Number one, you're going to get easy baskets, and you're going to be able to play better defense that way instead of going 5, 5, 5. You've heard me say that before, right? 5, 5, 5. You're more tired when you do that. It's nice to have a guy every now and then to just sit back after the fast break and just wait for the offense to come to him. So easy baskets. Easy baskets are going to create better defense, better energy, better momentum. That needs to be the identity of this team, especially with LeBron not playing possibly in the first 10 to 15 games. If not, if they're running a half-court offense with Luka and Austin Reaves, you're going to have major problems. Luka's going to do his thing, sure. Austin's going to do his thing, sure. But that's not enough for them to play a complete game 48 minutes at a time and dominate most of it, or make the audience feel like, oh, well, this team is on its way to doing positive things. It's always going to be a struggle.
Just to let you know, yes, I said it earlier, and I know that because Stefan was asking about it, Jeremy. Yes, I believe he will sign with the team. He will be picked up by a team a little bit later in the season, most likely because most of these teams already have set rosters. Even like the Lakers, who have 14 spots, and they can't sign a 15 because they just can't afford it, or else they go over. What most of these teams are waiting for is the point in the season when they can go ahead and sign somebody and give him a prorated veterans minimum. That means that, however many games in the season, let's say it's halfway through the season, you only have to pay him half of what a veterans minimum would be. So once it gets to that point where you can do so, you might see some of these guys that are currently out of the league start getting more looks as far as that's concerned, to fill up some of these teams that only have 14 players on the roster or so, like the Lakers. So you should see a Westbrook get that opportunity, unless there's a trade that could free up some space for a team like Sacramento or Houston or whatnot that might need a point guard like Russ right away. But yeah, I at the very least, I expect him to come back this season, but it's probably going to be later as the contracts get prorated. Let's say like halfway through the season or whatnot. So I do expect him to be signed at some point in time in this season. Anthony, what's up, my friend? Great to have you here. It is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciated. Wanted to also mention that if you're interested, because I was asked about fantasy basketball, I will be starting another ESPN league like I did last season. We will be doing it. I'm going to have the date and time. I'm going to work it out with some of the guys here in the chat over the next 24 hours and have it posted in the notes section on how to join up with the league here tomorrow, sometime during the day tomorrow before the Lakers game goes on here in Vegas against the Dallas Mavericks. So I have that information for you. And will probably the draft will probably take place sometime later this week, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. So you guys have plenty of time to go ahead and study up on that. Joe, wanted to go ahead and ask you this again. We come back to the Bronny Dalton situation because those two have played more minutes than anyone on the team this exhibition season. And again, your mileage may vary when it comes to the plus minus statistic, but this is something we talked about throughout the entire season when those two were in there, especially when Bronny was in there. And then the times when during this, the summer league and also as well now into the exhibition season. Bronny a minus 24 today, Joe. Dalton a minus 11. I don't know if it's a coincidence. I don't know if it's just the way that what happens with the coaching or what happens with the players around him, et cetera, et cetera. But that's a very telling sign. Now that we can call it, you and I called certain times when he would come into the game, we there goes the lead. We would set it on playback. Raphael called it earlier today. As soon as Bronny came in, there goes the lead. There goes the lead. And instantly, you were talking. This was when you were doing the dishes, Joe. There goes that lead. It seems like it's leaning towards not coincidental. And again, Bronny, couple baskets made. He's 7 points today. All right. He looked smooth at times on cutting to the basket and getting some layups. But his effort on the defensive end, his effort in transition defense, his execution sometimes on offense, it's not a coincidence, Joe. It's leaning more in that direction is what I'm trying to say. Minus 24, by far and away the worst on the team.
My concern at this point is Dalton Connect. This is a 17th pick in the draft who scored 30 points in a game last year.
On more than one occasion.
Yes, and has an NBA physique and an NBA shot, and it's just not clicking. And if it continues not to click in the first 15, 20 games, he's going to have to get traded. He's going to need new scenery, and he might flourish somewhere else. That's the unfortunate reality of that if he continues to do what he's doing. I have exhausted the Bronny James discussion. I am tired of hearing his name, hearing about his games. He is. I was talking to Empire Jeff today, and I had mentioned that LeBron James is an albatross. If you guys look up the definition of an albatross, I'm not talking about the bird. There's a definition of what an albatross is. Bronny James is a part of that. He's a tree branch to that, the ultimate trunk, which is LeBron James. At least LeBron James has somewhat earned it. He's one of the all-time greats. He's brought a title here. He's given it, and he gave the Lakers relevance. But it becomes a burden if the results are not met. And the results right now is LeBron's involvement with the Lakers has more traction towards the drama than the actual play on the court. And a part of that is the fact that we have to continue to talk about this fucking guy that's on the team that has no business being in the NBA. And I'm tired of listening and hearing his name, and I'm tired I have no enthusiasm to watch him play. I have a difficult time watching the Lakers play when I see him on the court. I don't want to see him. I don't want to see that he exists. I want him gone because it's constant reality of what a shit show this has been since he's been drafted. And I'm being serious here. This isn't a joke. This is a stupid experiment that has no business happening in professional sports. Nepotism in an executive, in an office environment is just that. Anyone can learn to be a secretary. Anyone can learn to be an executive. 90% of the NBA GMs in the NBA suck donkey dick at their job. I don't care how many years they've been in the NBA. They're horrible at their job. Anyone can learn to be. I'm sorry to all the secretaries out there, but it's true. Anyone can be a secretary. Anyone can go be a GM somewhere. Not a lot of people can play in professional sports. And this thing is a mockery of that. To have to continue to talk about a guy that has no business being in this league and to be on the LA Lakers of all places. It's exhausting thinking or talking about it. I don't want him on this team. I want him gone. Stay in the G League. If you improve enough and you're an NBA player the next year or two, God bless you. I hope it happens. But you're not. I don't want you here anymore. I don't want to see this. I don't give a shit about players who can't play. And I'm sick and tired of having to continue to be told, to be continually told by people who I don't know what the hell they're looking at. I don't know if they're trying to kiss ass. They got to be kissing ass. Saying that this guy has a future because if he does a couple things, you're an idiot, okay, in both areas. Whether you're kissing ass or you actually believe it. Dalton Connect is the player right now that is pissed me off in a way where it's like, dude, you have the talent, you have the NBA skill set. Damn it, play. You've played before. Why can't you play now? You should be able to play better now. You're a year in. You're a year plus in. But if he's not going to do it, then you got to figure out a way to now a 17th pick, another 17th pick goes down the toilet. Unless you can trade him for something of value. Losing first-round picks, guys that are near, especially with the lack of talent on this team, it sucks. And on top of that, we're compounding it by talking about some other schmuck who has no business even being there.
I did also want to mention Adu Thiero. I know that we kind of forget about him because he hasn't played the entire summer due to knee issues. I did want to give you guys an update on Adu Thiero because if you didn't check out Twitter, both Dave McMenamin, Jovan Buha, and the like have reported, that was earlier today, that update from him is that he experienced improvement in his knee swelling, which has allowed him to progress in his on-court activities. Stop me if you've heard this before, Joe. He'll be reevaluated in approximately 2 to 3 weeks. This is your guy that you traded up twice to get. And somehow, I don't know when he hurt his knee, Joe. I don't remember what years, because maybe I think he was already injured coming into preseason because he never played a preseason game with the Lakers. Maybe he heard it in the process of that, but that's a very short window when the Lakers drafted him and then he went into preseason games. But if he can't play, if he can't give you anything, or if he's ice cold, he hasn't played a lick of anything. So he's way behind the 8 ball to start the season. It's kind of concerning, Joe, that, again, we might have another issue. It's a second-round draft pick, but again, it could have been an opportunity where maybe you might have looked at a different direction. I'm just putting it out there now, hoping Aduthiero will come back healthy, keeping my fingers crossed that he can make a positive contribution later this season.
I don't know. I don't know what he can do this year. He's very raw. There are players that are more skilled coming in than he is, and they struggle in the first year. I just don't see any. I don't see a lot of ado to do in year one. I'm sorry, I don't. Yeah. I don't see it. I don't see it. I think he's going to be he's going to likely more red shirt this year, if anything, and then that we'll see how he progresses from there. I'm not really expecting anything from him. And these guys, man, I swear, these young guys are injured. It's like 90% of the freaking rookies are injured coming into the league. Like, what are these guys doing? What are they eating? Are they eating shit? Are they drinking Mountain Dew Code Red? Knee problems, neck problems, ass problems. It's always something. Having heart attacks in college. Like, what the fuck are these guys doing? Who the hell comes in healthy anymore? Wembanyama, blood clots. Like, really? Is this what basketball's doing to people in AAU and in high school? Like, what's the deal here? When I was 18, when I was in high school and in college, you could have taken a bulldozer to me and it would have bounced off me. There was no aches. It took a almost 300-pound man to give me a hairline fracture on my right hand in a football game. Guy fell on it. My finger was like this on the ground. It should have snapped off. Like, seriously, what are these guys doing? I'm being serious. Guys, I don't get it. I don't get it. And I'm not a daredevil, but man, the stuff I did, what is it? Is it that? Is it playing basketball every day in high school and in outside your high school games, and it's making your bones brittle and your brain brittle and your back brittle? Like, what is it? I don't remember guys like Shaq and Kobe and McGrady and Vince Carter and John Stockton and Karl Malone and Barkley and all those guys came in and just were fine. What? They weren't playing basketball every day? They weren't on AAU teams? Like, what the hell is going on with today's youth? No one comes in healthy. The most advanced medicine ever, every 5 minutes in America, in the world, is the most advanced medicine on the planet. That's how fast it works. Yet we have gotten weaker mentally, weaker physically in that time. What is it? I'd like to really know.
I do want to mention that for those, like to point this out, especially with Bronny James, the Lakers had moved up 2 spots more. They could have drafted Ryan Kalkbrenner out of Creighton, who at the 7-footer actually may start for the Charlotte Hornets because he's already started some at least one preseason game and went 7 for 7. Just want to make a note of that. Also, as well, who's had performances from second rounders that were impressive so far this season. Kobe Bree, you saw earlier today. I don't know if you guys thought about him. He was drafted after Aduthiero. I do know Brooks Barnhizer has been a lot of people in OKC have been making raves about him, and he had a double-double earlier today in preseason action. And for you Aussies out there, this one's for you guys, Rocco Zakarsky. I know that you guys weren't really totally on with Rocco Zakarsky, but he did score 16 for the Timberwolves I believe, last night. So just to keep an eye on that. And again, I'm wishing the best for Dude Hero, and I don't want to start down that same road that I did for Bronny James as of yet. We still have to wait and see until he gets healthy. Ton of athleticism. In fact, I've talked about it at training camp of what the athleticism this kid has. I'm hopeful that this kid will get healthy and will get right and start playing some action for the Lakers and be able to defend and hopefully score for the Lakers on both ends of the floor that hopefully the Lakers will see. And we'll see by the end of the season why the Lakers moved up twice to go ahead and get him. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, while you guys talk about Sydney Sweeney in the chat, a very interesting aside on that. It is, of course, the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do lose they do lose tonight, 113-104. Again, with the way the Luka played tonight, I'm not really taking too many bad things away from it because Luka and Austin were as good as advertised tonight. 40 points in the first half. But tomorrow, the Lakers move to Vegas. They're coming here to Sin City. They go ahead and they play the Dallas Mavericks at the T-Mobile Arena, I think, from what I remember. And yes, the tickets are available if you want to come by to Vegas and go ahead and pick them up because there won't be a Luka, won't be a Marcus Smart, won't be LeBron playing, so you can have my seat. More power to you. I'm not going to buy it for you, though, so sorry. You're going to have to buy it yourself, but you'll have one of more available to you if you want to go ahead and get it. But Joe, it's been a great time. Also want to mention, again, I will post notes for this channel tomorrow. Not only I will go ahead and post as far as a new team preview tomorrow and check out the latest ones I dropped already in this week, but I will be posting a note on our fantasy basketball league. That'll be coming up here very shortly with the information on that. So I'll go ahead and have that tomorrow for you guys. I do also want to mention if you guys want to go ahead and put in your predictions as well. 1 to 15 East, 1 to 15 in the West, your NBA Finals and who's going to win the NBA Finals. Your coach of the year, your rookie of the year, your MVP for this upcoming season. If you guys want to go ahead and share thoughts on that, because I'm going to ask all the guys that are on here. Joe doesn't do it, so I don't even bother at this point with him. But everybody else usually gives it a fair shake. If you want to join in on that and go ahead and be a part of that, Lakers Fast Break at yahoo.com, and we will go ahead on the air and read them out on Monday. Yeah, Joe cringes whenever I do that, but yes. These guys like to do it. So I'm sorry the world does not center around you for this period of time, Joe.
That's the best you got.
That's a hell of a lot more than what you got, sir.
I'm like Jupiter, man. I bounce shit off. I help bounce stuff off. I don't need anything revolved around me.
You got some meteors that crash land on your ass. I'm sorry.
No, I don't got anything landing on me. If it does, it bounces off.
Okay, well, yeah. Sorry, no one else can live there either, but oh well. Be that as it may, it is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. Great times to have you here.
Mark, I rate her in a few things. She's not the most gorgeous woman I've ever seen, but there's something about her personality, her acceptance of her embracing her movie stardom. You don't see it. You hadn't seen that a lot lately. And I that's the stuff I like about her is she's embracing the movie star image, the movie star spotlight. I like that because it's been such a bad area for so long with all these stupid ass idiot morons who have a message for everybody. We got to listen to their message. Fuck your message. I don't want to hear your message. Shut up. Entertain me by acting, by pretending. I don't need to hear about your values outside your house. Okay? Just spare me your bullshit. We're seeing a good amount of that bullshit with what's going on with Steph Curry and his twat wife. So it's something that you have to get very drastic about and start really piercing the words so that it can resonate.
It's funny that you mentioned that. I don't think maybe we've said that name of Ayesha Curry once on this show and this channel. We may
She
have.
reminds me of John Legend's wife.
It wasn't until this past weekend when that troll that was like bagging on you and I for bashing LeBron about the ad that he was saying, "Oh, the media is always on Ayesha Curry. The media's on Ayesha Curry."
We're not the
I
media.
don't care.
I'm not the
don't
media.
care.
Yeah, we're not the
But
media.
that's his wife. I
No.
don't care. I don't want to approach it. But then
I don't.
now
Yeah.
since then you're calling her name and
I don't. Because you're a piece of shit, and you need to be told you're a piece of shit. What kind of mother says, "Oh, I didn't want to have kids" when you have kids? What kind of fucking idiot talks like that when they've had kids? How do you think that's going to make them feel? And you're wondering why kids are all fucked up. There you go. I get very defensive when things affect children. And I don't give a fuck if it's a woman, a man, a hermaphrodite, black, white, yellow, don't matter. It doesn't matter. Her children now have to hear that. I care about kids because the kids is what sets everything up for the next plan, the next generation. And you have this fucking idiot saying, "Oh, I regretted whatever the fuck she regretted." She liked the lifestyle. She liked the money, though, right? Oh, and these are supposedly church people, too, which pisses me off even more. When you get religion and you're fucking hypocrite, your ass needs to be scolded. And I mean relentlessly. Relentlessly. You are trash. You are high-class trash. And Steph chose poorly. If I had to pick one of my favorite lines from a great movie. Because Vari never ever knows if we're talking normal or if we're talking about a movie. The beautiful thing about that
Crusade.
Beautiful thing about that is we do both. we are pretty inventive sometimes, but
I forgot
we
which
also
night it was from Camelot. I forgot which night from Camelot it was that was telling Indy that. But yes,
I remember his face.
Scene.
I don't remember his name.
It did well. They just got it. He had just finished with the scene where or doing one of the special effects, which
shit
has not actually aged very well. Intel, what's up? Oh no!
Oh man,
you got out of this. Almost got out of this.
Oh,
we haven't seen you in a while, Intel.
Shit.
I hope all is well. It's up to you. I'm not going to. Again, you're an adult. You choose your own path.
I'll be back.
Here we go. I guess we're staying on a little bit longer. You guys had earlier in the show asked for it. It is, of course, Joe Soro being asked by Intel Wild. Great to have you here, Intel Wild. I hadn't seen you a little bit. Hope all is well. Intel Wild is asking for 7 shots in 20 minutes. You've made Jeremy happy because Jeremy asked for it earlier in the show. I think I remember that. But again, I don't want to touch the Ayesha Curry issue. That's just something that's her thoughts and her feelings. It is what it is. I enjoyed having kids. Greatest thing that's ever happened to me in my life is having kids. So, and I know my wife feels the same. So what's up? But great to have you here. It is, of course, the Lakers fast break. Lakers unfortunately lose due to a poor second half, 113-104. Again, I'm more focused on the first half and the positivity from that. DeAndre Ayton as well. Really looking forward to seeing what he may be able to do for the Lakers. I know that a lot of people talked about Eli earlier in the show, and then also, again, as I mentioned earlier as well, one of the Scooby mentioned that in the Portland community boards that they talked about DeAndre Ayton and how bad or good he's doing in the preseason. And like I said, when it comes to DeAndre Ayton, we got him on the cheap. So I don't think it's really a big loss if he doesn't play or perform at the level we need him to, because again, it's a 1+1. So it's up to him as Joe drinks his first shot.
I might have to go get another bottle. This is probably maybe 5 shots, maybe 6. I don't know. We'll see.
And you're right, Anthony. Luka got a good run against G League players. You're right. I'm not going to sit here because Phoenix did not have their starting lineup in there or main guys in rotation. But
Not a good mix.
he did what he did.
Luckily, it was done.
It's pretty rough. Oh, he's shooting the Mountain Dew on top of it.
No, don't do that. Don't do Mountain Dew with rum.
Here we go.
I was just finishing up the drink.
I'll just say this again. Luka should be, and Austin should be scoring 40 points in the first half against a depleted team like that. So I'm taking some trying to get some positivity with you guys on that. But we will not see him tomorrow here in Vegas. We'll see him on the bench. Is when we'll see him on the bench. But probably ready to go hit the buffets or ready to go hit the poker tables or something like that here. But again, it is what it is. Tomorrow night against the Dallas Mavericks, we'll see what lineup Dallas throws out there as well. Yes, you did, Jeremy. You did ask for this, and Intel is delivering it. So Intel Wild, he's putting it in there. Here you go, Intel. We're truly appreciate it. You don't have to do this. Oh my God, Intel. Thank you, Intel, for the super chat of $150. Truly appreciate it. His words, Joe, start drinking.
Start drinking. Well, shot number 2. You guys can see it.
There you go. Our audio audience just listening to the listeners out there. Joe's taking his second shot on air. I don't think, you guys talk about the best or worst Lakers podcasts out there, best and worst, all that stuff like that. No Lakers show on the air does things like this. You cannot tell me they do things like this when asked by Intel or anyone else out there in the chat and incentivized to do so. So it is truly appreciated, Intel. Cannot thank you enough as always. You're very kind. You do put Joe's liver through the ringer, but it is the case. Jeremy's asking, what are we drinking there? Honey Jack?
Captain Morgan.
Captain
Rum.
Morgan. Yeah.
Rum.
He's been a Captain Morgan guy for a while. He's actually shown that and flown on the air as far before Captain Morgan.
Honey Jack is a popular one too. I have that. I usually have that with a mixed drink or a mixer like a Topo Chico or Coke. Obviously rum and Coke. But I try to stay away from the Coke too much with this if I'm drinking during the night because it's too much sugar.
You notice the one drink we do not talk about very much is Hennessy. And that was even before.
Yeah, Hennessy's it tastes like poison. What I would imagine poison would taste like. Can Joe put Dodger hat on and drink? Yeah, I can.
My gosh.
I think this one's going to be replaced in about 2 weeks.
Are you getting? Oh, there you go. Absolutely.
So this is the 2024 black championship locker room hat. There's the white one. I don't know if you guys can see it.
In the distance there, yeah.
That one is the actual locker room from the championship World Series last year. You all know I like to wear black. You got a lot of gold in it. You guys know I like black and gold. This is my favorite hat. I just wish it wasn't adjustable. I usually prefer a fitted hat, but for some reason, this recent generation of hats have become adjustable. I don't know why. They had that flex thing that I thought was genius. There's a lot of championship hats that are like that. I don't know why they stopped making those. Those are great. But this hat looks great from the front. Absolutely great. I love it. Okay, I got to take my third one here so I can get at least almost halfway through.
All right. Once again, it's the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you joining us. Once again, Intel has coaxed Joe Soro, drinking 7 shots in 20 minutes. No, Jeremy, we don't.
Joe, you'll be buying a new Dodgers hat soon. Yeah, it's a beautiful time, guys. It's a beautiful time. I seeing a little bit of Luka doing what he did here today gave gave us some things to look forward to, things to come for the next 7-8 years, guys. Luka's 26. We're gonna be seeing this for a while. Luka's not a high fly act, guys. Luka is gonna be here for 10 years, at the very least, at the top of his game. It's a long time. And then watching the dismantling of a baseball team the last couple nights, it's everything that I've been waiting to see. The dominance that's underway at the moment. There still needs to be 6 more wins, obviously. Things can flip in baseball very quickly, but should the Dodgers win 6 more games, it is going to be a very, very rare moment in baseball history. The fact that you're going to have the LA Dodgers being one of 4 teams in the National League to repeat, to have the team repeat in general in a sport right now where it's very difficult to repeat. The last repeat champion was in 2000. That was 25 years ago. That's a quarter century. That's a long time. That's a long time not to have a repeat champion. And supposedly the parody league of the NFL, the most socialistic sport in the world, which is the NFL. How many repeat champions have they had since 2000? They've had 1. They've had 2. Yeah. They've had 2. Patriots in 03-04. And then you had Kansas City in 2023 and 2022, 2023. And a lot of those years were near misses. I mean, they were in the Super Bowl and they lost. Almost a 3-peat. Yeah, twice. Just I'm just excited to see dominance. I have never seen the Dodgers ever in this kind of mode.
And your Steelers, absolutely what Hustler said. By the way, big shout out to Hustler. Truly appreciate you joining us. 5-1. Thank you, JY, for the super chat as well. Truly appreciated. And of course, if you just joined us, Joe is in the process. You're at number 4 or 3?
4.
4 shots in 20 minutes. He's supposed to drink 7 as per requested by Intel Wild. Yes, as you're seeing it now. He's at 4. He looks again. You're an adult, my friend. You're drinking an adult beverage on your own.
No, Jeremy, I do not ever wear flat brims. As a matter of fact, I chastise those who do.
As far as what? Because I like the trucker hats personally.
I don't like flat bills.
I hate flat bills.
Flat bills make your head look like a duck.
I always get one, Lakers one for Christmas, and it's always like,
Aaron, probably after Game 3. I'll probably have a show after Game 3 in a couple days because I'm not going to be around on the weekend. I will be up in the Northern California area on the weekend, so I won't be available unless I'm doing something mobile.
Yeah, sorry, Jeremy. We just can't stand. I cannot stand flip. I mean, I have over in the corner like a graveyard that's sitting on top of one of my speakers, just like a series of all the hats I don't wear anymore. And you guessed it, most of them are flat bills. I just the trucker hats. I like the curvatures, the fit. It's just better to me. Just the look is better. Yeah, I can't do it.
Trucker hats are like me wearing the Jordan 1s. That doesn't fit.
No, but the curvature. I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They call it the trucker hat style.
Right. You're right. I don't look good in trucker hats, and I don't look good in Jordan 1s. My calves are too big for those. My calves are too big for the Jordan 1s.
Someone is asking again. It's Captain Morgan, son. Just to let you know.
Free advertisement for Captain Morgan. See if I can take my 5th shot here. Get it out of the way.
And yes, when you guys see me interviewing and I'm wearing my hat, or when I'm doing the show and I'm wearing a hat, it's got to be a curved, and it's got to be a. So 5th one, 5th shot, right there in 20 minutes, right there, down the hatch, down the hatch indeed. Little did I know in 2019 that my Lakers Fast Break show and channel would be evolving into a grown man drinking 7 shots of Captain Morgan in 20 minutes. I
Yeah,
don't know
guys, yeah. And when you're in a position that I'm in, I have a lot of things to do tomorrow morning. I have to get up and go and tend to certain business at 8 a.m. Then I have a meeting at 9 that'll go until 10:30, and then after that, I have to drive to the desert, Palm Springs area. If I decide to get up in the morning and go, I don't really want to go, I can do that. I don't do that. I just said I could do it. I actually enjoy working.
Glass now has been announced for Game 3.
Glass now's for 3, and you're probably going to get Ohtani for 4. There's been some talk on the show, if you're here late, that maybe they throw Kershaw in there, but I would say if you're going to throw Kershaw in Game 4, you let Ohtani go 5 or 6, and if you're up 8-1, let Kershaw close out the game. That might be the last game he pitches in Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, Search. I wish we could. Again, I've reached out to radio stations. I'll probably reach back again this week. Again, I think we have something that would be really good for radio to expand our audience even more. I wish our audience was larger. I know we put a lot of effort and time into this. Would like to see something matriculate out of it. Again, it's just wait and see. The Lakers fan base is really large, and I think that a lot of them would kind of like what we have to offer. We're more real than any other Lakers show that's out there. I'm willing to go places and say things about the Lakers, good and bad, that sometimes those other guys are restricted in saying because they want to keep their good relations with the Lakers. We don't care. We're going to call it like we see it. And if it's something you disagree with, we just ask you to be respectful to us on the air. Let us know, hey, I think you're not right about that, or I disagree with you on that. And we can have a civil discourse on it. But Joe was in the loop. Was that number 7?
This is 7 right now.
Okay, as he's drinking number 7. Joe was part of the after community talking about somebody I had to have a discussion with on the LeBron Hennessy ad, and he was the one individual that supported it and thought it was great, thought the ad was great, got a laugh out of it. Fine, but don't call us. Don't start the conversation calling us whiny, complaining little girls. When you do.
7 was the final thing. That's crazy.
It was 7 after all for the entire bottle.
Salud, number 7.
Yeah, we didn't think, we thought it was 5, but got all 7 out of it. But I just ask you, if you disagree with us, just be respectful. That's all we ask, and we'll be respectful to you.
Don't call people little girls when we're not.
It's just
because
whiny.
You feel like that's what it is. We're here. We're talking about things that are going on. We're not sitting here wanting for LeBron to be a petulant child. We don't want that either, but it is. So if you don't like the message, you don't like us telling you what's going on, then maybe you should go to Fantasyland and manifest whatever you want in your brain. It's so simple. It's so simple when you look at the results of someone's actions. Excuses, what ifs. I don't give a shit. You get paid $52 million to be a important cog in this thing. I'm expecting you to earn your $52 million. If LeBron was making $2 million a year, you probably wouldn't hear me complain as much, because they'd be able to get talent to help him. But he's not going to take $2 million. And I'm not saying he should. I'm just saying, you want to take that kind of money, now the pressure's on you. You don't like the
But we
pressure
were
after
having,
20.
and you saw that we're having back and forth
Yeah.
all
And-
weekend long on
yeah.
this. And
Yeah.
just,
And if you had brought 5 championships in this 8 years, then I'd be like, well, all right, guys, well,
we'll deal with the noise.
we'll deal with it at this point. We got to wait. But there was too much stuff left that LeBron at every stop left things on the table. He won 1 championship in Cleveland in 11 years. That's not good if you're going to call him the greatest of all time. He won 2 out of 4 in Miami when he should have won at least 3 out of 4. He was up 2-1 in 2011. You shouldn't be getting beat by J.J. Barea. I'm sorry. If you're LeBron, you're an MVP and all that bullshit. You cannot be scoring 11 points against J.J. Barea. If you were getting your ass whooped by Kawhi Leonard in 2014, okay, I get that. But not J.J. Barea, and not up 2-1 in that series. Sorry. Can't do that. It's very simple. To me, it's very simple.
I believe he's a very smart individual. He's very sharp about the game of basketball. But JY, he's just very attention seeking. It's like he needs it. No other star, no other player does these things that he does. All the off-season stuff, all the off-the-court stuff, and the guy that I was corresponding with in that video, as far as the chat afterwards, all throughout the weekend, I would say something, I would shut him down. He would come back with some other weak explanation, shut him down. It's just the noise. He said, oh, he hasn't committed any crimes. He's been a good lawful citizen. That's great. But why do I have to see you exercising in front of a Clippers logo? Why do I have to see you on the south of France with Jokic's agent? Why do I have to see you with an hourglass tweet? Why do I have to see you at the Knicks game, after the Knicks game, with a Knicks towel around your neck? Why do I have to constantly hear the passive aggressiveness in your statements that you make? Why? It's not necessary. If you're unhappy about something, just say it, or just say it to Rob. No games are needed. He is one of the greatest players in the history of this game. His legacy, no matter what you say about it, is assured. He's a Hall of Famer. Boom, right there. One of the greatest all-time leading scorer. His resume speaks for itself, but it's just that noise. It's just so hard to defend the man when he just creates so much unnecessary noise. And in reading the room, he should have read the room. Is what I'm doing going to be funny, perceived as such, or is it going to be perceived in a different fashion? It wouldn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. And I think he's smart about a lot of things, but the way he gets approached by, whoever his agent, Hennessy, or what have you, in doing this, and they probably approach, hey, it'd be a great joke, ha 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 ha. It's just like, just read the room sometimes. You don't need to do these things. Your legacy has been fulfilled. It already is what it is. It gets so tiring, Joe. It just absolutely gets
He is
so tiring
a immature, uneducated narcissist. That's what he is.
Hernan's here.
I would love to say that to his face.
So I'll leave you with this, my friend.
I wonder what he would do.
What? Oh, if you said that to his face?
You're an immature, uneducated narcissist. And I'd love to have Maverick Carter be in there and Rich Paul, because I want to see what those two fucks would say. Because they'd be the first guy. LeBron wouldn't answer. LeBron wouldn't say a thing first if I had said that to him. It's going to come from Maverick Carter or Rich Paul right away. And then boom, I got you. I go, why are your two bitches talking? Why aren't you talking? I've been in those situations before, just not with the prestige of a LeBron James. I don't know if I'll ever have that moment with someone that famous. But that's who LeBron James is.
So I'll leave you with this, my friend, before the Captain Morgans really start to kick in. And once
It's
again, the
kicked in.
Lakers
It's
lose.
kicked in. I'm feeling
It's
pretty good
kicked
right
in.
now.
Okay, Phoenix wins 113 to 104. Lakers fall to 1-3 on the season. They do play tomorrow night here in Vegas against the Dallas Mavericks. Hernan's asking a question, and we'll go ahead and leave out on this one. Question for Joe or Gerald. Do you think it's better for us to tank the season than to have unrealistic championship aspirations?
No, we're the Lakers. We don't tank. I saw
We have
tanking
Luka.
between 2015 and 2018. It was abhorrent. It's an abhorrent existence. I don't want to ever go through that again. This is the LA Lakers. We don't tank. We don't need to tank. We don't need to tank. We got Luka Doncic.
Yeah, that's
build around.
Yeah, tank.
Build around Luka as soon as LeBron is off the books. You'll have a little more flexibility on doing what you need to do. I'm counting the days on when Mark Walter takes over operation. That's all I'm waiting on next.
And we'll find out what goes on from there. Jeremy, again, this is a guy who's been from middle school into high school, been put on a pedestal, and it's just something that has matriculated into what you see now. I think this is over the course of 25 plus years of his life has been treated in a certain fashion. So this is what he expects, and this is how he expects to conduct themselves. And again, I've had enough, but I would like to see it end on a better note, more peaceful note, and hopefully a more healthy note for him. But we'll see what happens with the sciatic issue when it's reevaluated in 3 or 4 weeks here. But it is, of course, the Lakers fast break. We'll be back tomorrow. Another NBA team.
Having an ego is not the issue. You have to have an ego to be great, especially if you're an all-time great. I have an ego. I come off as a narcissist. I come off as an egomaniac. However, I have friends a mile long. I have family that care about me. I have people that invite me to go to things, and they wonder why I'm not there. There's a difference. Now, I'm a nobody compared to LeBron James. I'm not famous. People want LeBron to be at their parties and their gatherings and all that because he's famous. But do people in your life want you around without incentive? There's a big difference.
And generational hater, as one of the many people who we've come across over the years that disputes the 2020 title. You can say what you want, but again,
the banner's up there. The record books say it's there. It doesn't really matter how you feel. The results say everyone played by the same rules. Your team lost. Our team won. And it wasn't like they played 20 games. They played 73 games. I mean, the Miami Heat won a championship in 2012 playing 66 games. The San Antonio Spurs won a championship playing 50 games in 1999. So are you going to take their titles away too? You have to know.
Hater, I respectfully disagree.
Yeah, generational hater. Hate in reverse. How about that? I'm getting deep on this.
Again, all those teams didn't have. There was no home court advantage. Those teams were basically was the best team wins and the best team won. It was under all the same conditions. They were all going through it on a mental, both physical and mental basis, emotional basis. What's going on around for their families and around the world at that point in time. For a lot of people, was the scariest point in their lives around that time. So yeah, just a lot to think about. As Giannis Antetokounmpo, one of the greatest players in the game currently, said at that time, going through that period of time was one of the most difficult things that he ever had to do. And saying that again, the same conditions for everyone and no home court advantages at all to speak of. Instead of just TV screens, they were playing in front of TV screens. All these teams had a even level playing field, which is something that is bad for a team like the Lakers, who got their home court advantage taken away from them in this environment and still yet persevered, which in many cases should mean that this title in 2020 is better and more important than many of the others that the Lakers won, if not all of them. So I would already contest
It doesn't. It doesn't matter.
Of course,
LeBron was being discredited for the 2013 title because Ray Allen hit a last-second shot, as if there hasn't been other players and other series with great players that hit it. Robert Horry hit a shot that basically saved the Lakers in 2002. How come we don't hear anything about that? John Paxson hit the game winner for one of the first three-peat titles for the Bulls. Steve Kerr in 1997. What? Now you're going to discredit Jordan? Dude, it's 5-on-5. It's a team sport. You still need other guys to do their job. And sometimes your role players make plays. Every single champion, every single great player and champion had a role player play an integral part in winning a championship at some point. I mean, hell, Bill Walton was Sixth Man of the Year in '86. Helped the Celtics, probably had the best team of the '80s, which you've already heard me on record saying there is no decade more competitive in the NBA than the '80s. Even though the Lakers were the dynasty in that decade, it is not really you're not really out of line, no matter what fan you are, that the '86 Celtics were the best team in a year in the '80s. This freaking team lost one game at home. One. Imagine that. Imagine losing one game for 9 months in one area. That's dominance. That's dominance that's not even fathomable. You celebrate greatness. That's always my motto. Celebrate greatness. And that's greatness.
And with that, it is the Lakers fast break. The Captain Morgan has already kicked in with Joe Sorrell. Please go ahead and make sure you catch him today, either on the YouTube. He had a great show with me last night on his channel, the Joe Sorrell Experiment channel. So like and subscribe there. He's looking to get to 200 subscribers. So hopefully
celebrate in front of 0 fans. What does that mean?
Yeah. What does that have to do with anything?
Generational hater. What does that mean?
Okay. But they were still playing against other NBA.
We have fans from Australia. We have fans from the Philippines. We have fans from California. We have fans from Toronto.
I think he was talking about the COVID title.
Oh, celebrate in front of 0 fans. Did you see Jimmy Butler keeling over on the
stanchion there when
the stanchion there at the behind the hoop? You telling me that guy wasn't playing his ass off? It's about competition. It doesn't matter location. What's the competition? What you saw during the bubble is still the highest competition in a sport. That's what it's about. It's the competition. It's the competition and the energy through adversity, through challenges. What changed, if not even more of a challenge? Because you were tested mentally outside that court. But on the court, these guys were playing just as hard as they would if they were playing a regular schedule. So what's the difference? You tell me. It's still the same skill set playing against each other. What difference does it make whether it's in Orlando or whether it's in LA or Miami? Tell me. Miami squeezed every ounce of their ability in 2020. Absolutely wrung every ounce of that talent to the point where they won 2 damn games in the NBA Finals. They finally ran out of gas in Game 6, though, because the talent was just too much for the Lakers.
Now he's discrediting the Heat, said they were mid.
Okay, so the Miami Heat were mid. This is the same team that went to the finals in 2020 and went to the finals in 2023, but yet they're mid. So how many teams do you know go to the finals 2 times in 3 seasons? 4 seasons. How often does that happen? Because we're still waiting for Charlotte, Orlando, Minnesota, Milwaukee. How often do those guys go to the finals 2 times in 4 years? You explain that to me. When was the last time the San Antonio Spurs went to the finals for 2 out of the 4 years? It's been a while. When was the last time Dallas did it? You sit on your couch. I'm taking a quote from Empire Jeff, my boy. And you act like you know what's going on. You don't know cock. You don't know shit. You don't know dick about anything. You know nothing except your own dick. That's it. You know what Laker fans know? 17 titles. You know what they also know? 6 titles in 25 years. Whether they're in Orlando in a bubble, whether they're winning it in LA against Boston, whether they're winning it in Orlando, whether they're winning it in New Jersey, whether they're winning it in Philly, or whether they're winning in LA against Indiana. It doesn't matter, dude. The Lakers win everywhere. Know this. This is facts with 2 X's. Facts. This isn't, I'm imagining that they didn't, they want a certain way. This is facts. The Dodgers tonight whooped ass in somebody else's house while they were prancing and dancing in their clubhouse, acting like we're okay. No, you're not okay. You got served today, more so than you already got served yesterday. You got your ass handed to you yesterday, and then you got your ass, your dick, and your soul served to you today. Now what's next? Your life is next, and that's about to end soon. Stop talking like you know. You don't know shit because the results speak. Not you, not a hater, not a troll. Results. Results, matter of fact, facts are the only thing that matter.
You said you've always said it. You're in the results business.
I am in the results business. I'm in the results business because you can't defeat results. That's it. What else are you going to tell me? Oh, feelings? Oh, I came from this area. I went from this. No one gives a shit. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck about your story. What does it result in if you're going to come with bullshit? So we talked about LeBron James. If LeBron James brought the Lakers 5 championships since 2018, we're not talking like this about LeBron. LeBron could go and stand buck-ass naked in the middle of fucking Times Square and call the Lakers a bunch of fucking pansies. I'm like, well, sorry guys, he's gotten 21 banner. He helped us get 21 banners now. I guess we got to eat it a little bit. Is it worth the squeeze? It's always the question, right? Yep. But if you come with some bullshit and discrediting results, you got to come up with something better than, it was because they were in Orlando. Oh, Mickey Mouse. The court's the same size. The competition, it's still Jimmy Butler on that team. It's still Pat Riley as the GM. It's still Spoelstra coaching. It's still Frank Vogel there. It's still LeBron. It's still AD. It's still Rondo. What? It's still the same shit. What difference does it make? The competition was there. It's about competition. I don't give a fuck if they were playing on the moon. If the competition is the same, and we saw it was the same, then what difference does it make? Why? Because you're worried about Paul George not being able to get some skanks in there? Is that how you're basing it off of? Threw him off his game a little bit? That's his problem. What does that have to do with you?
Brandon's asking if it's a disgrace if LeBron gets a statue.
I don't think he's going to get a statue.
I think he'll get a statue.
LeBron in LA? No.
Yes.
No. If LeBron gets a statue, then Will Chamberlain needs to get a statue.
I would already tell you Will Chamberlain needs a statue.
No, I'm sorry.
I do.
LeBron would have to win a second championship, I'd say, to even be considered. LeBron is the furthest thing from LA as you could be. He may have played here for 8 years, what will be 8 years, but he's not. He's not a symbol of LA. And in a lot of ways, Will Chamberlain was not a symbol of LA either. Will Chamberlain was someone who in his time was more about what he wanted as well. He wasn't as bad as LeBron, but he left a lot on the table too. Will Chamberlain's skill set should not have garnered a 2-4 record in the finals. Will Chamberlain should have at least had a 4-2 record in the finals. Not a 2-4, not a 2-4 record. I'm sorry, especially in a league where there's only 8 teams, 9 teams sometimes. Results. It's about results, guys. And in team sports, it's about championships. You speak in that. Winning is all that matters. Stats are for losers. Sincerely, Bill Belichick.
I still think he's going to get one.
From
I'm
who?
not saying he needs.
If Genie was still owning the team, probably, but no, I don't. He didn't do enough to garner a statue. He'd have to win a championship this year. Get 2, and then I'll say yes, but no.
Okay.
If Will Chamberlain, all that he's done doesn't have a statue, there's no way in hell LeBron's going to get a statue outside LA.
Again, I'm just saying how this team has worked.
Hell, Gasol deserves. Serge said it. Gasol deserves a fucking statue over LeBron.
I agree with you. I agree with you, but I'm just okay.
You want to talk about generational, iconic shift? Kobe said this. I'm not saying it. Kobe said Pau Gasol was the catalyst of the stamp of Kobe's career. Kobe was thanking Pau Gasol accepting the Finals MVP in 2010. How many fucking selfish people do you see thanking another player in his individual moment in a game of the ages, in a rivalry of the ages, game 7 against the Boston Celtics? And what is the first thing Kobe Bryant, the selfish guy, did is thank Pau Gasol accepting a fucking individual award on stage in front of 20 million people. How many guys do that? How many? You tell me. You telling me that motherfucker would be LeBron James would be thanking somebody else? Would he have thanked Kyrie Irving for winning? No, he would just sit there, give me respect, give me the respect, do this, do that, do that. Oh, me. I. Fuck that.
All right, and on that note, it is the Lakers once again losing. They're now fall to 1-3 on the preseason. Tomorrow's
It's a nice way to put a button on it.
Exactly. Indeed.
Lakers losing. Stop fucking up in the third quarter, JJ Redick. Can you fix the third quarter for once? We had to deal with this. Didn't we get rid of Darvin Ham because of this shit?
Yes.
And don't tell me it was a preseason game. Your asses do this shit every fucking year in the regular season.
Well, let's see if it happens tomorrow here in Vegas against the Dallas Mavericks. So we'll have it for you on our playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. We'll have the post game, of course. Also, earlier in the day, I will go ahead and post information on our upcoming fantasy basketball league. And then, of course, an NBA team preview coming at you as well. So looking forward to showing my latest one to you as we get closer and closer to having all the teams previewed for you and available to you on YouTube. Also, some other great conversations I have on the way, including an author of an awesome Lakers book, which is not out yet. And I can't really talk too much about that because of embargo, but I will be this time around next week. I will be next week. Much more about it, indeed. But great to have you here, guys. Again, also send in your predictions to LakersFastBreak@yahoo.com as well. So for Joe Soro, for the Joe Soro Experiment, and also the Joe Soro Experiment on Playback, it's me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for watching and listening. Big shout out again to all of our mods and to everybody that watches and listens to us right here on the Lakers Fast Break podcast.
We love you too, Search. I love all my people.
Have a great evening, everyone. Be safe.